This show is intended for adult audiences. You know, people with bills, backaches, responsibilities, and a functioning sense of humor. It contains strong language, stronger opinions, and the kind of jokes that might send the emotionally fragile into a full-blown meltdown. If you're easily offended, perpetually outraged, or think words are violence, this is your cue to clutch your pearls, grab a blankie, and sprint to your nearest safe space. Or, you know, just get in the sea. We won't miss you. For everyone else, buckle up and let's have some laughs.
Rated D for dickhead.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing.
Hello, you dirty little boys. Are you interested in my body?
I'm gonna come.
Nice tits.
A real setup of donkers, packing some Doban hunkeros.
The power of one, the power of two, the power of men.
What's going down, babes? Show me the loving.
Silence! You are too gay to be the doctor.
I'm wonderful, and I'm the most amazing person in the universe.
Exterminate!
These people are making a lot of money, print money, cash,
Money, well,
capitalism.
You're watching Will of the Fans! Let's fucking go!
I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Bad news.
Engines roar through the ash gray skies. The wasteland burns, but hope won't die. Every screen's a twisted lie, built to break us, make us comply. They poison the heroes, rewrite the tales, turn legends to dust, leave us frail. But we're not done, we won't bow down. Through the wreckage, we'll take the crown. Steel hearts ignite, fire in our veins. Freedom's calling, breaking the chains. They can't erase what we already know. HyperDrive now, let's fucking go. HyperDrive time, we're burning the night. Blazing through shadows, our stories ignite. Will all the fans come ride with me as we laugh at foolish hypocrisy? HyperDrive time is now or it's never, as long as they rule. Let's fucking go forever. Forever. Oh, forever. Forever. Go forever.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to HyperDrive Time. Welcome back to Will of the Fans. Straight out of hell, you know the drill, and it is drive time somewhere, which means it's HyperDrive Time everywhere. So, quick mic check to make sure, because it was muted, but I'm pretty sure everything is working okay. Let me know in the chat if you can hear my voice. Sorry, I know it's not the greatest voice, but it's a voice. It's mine, and I like it. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, nothing in between, welcome once again to another voyage of discovery, racing through the wastes of the internet to the further reaches of sanity on a never-ending quest to rid the universe of absolute bollocks.
What the
That's
hell is
right.
even that?
Yes, we're going to be taking a look at some of the craziness on the internet today for a couple of hours, indeed, at least. We'll see how we do. Of course, if the limit bar does get filled, it will be a little longer than that, indeed. And yeah, so hopefully you guys are here in the chat. I'm seeing a few of you already, so that's nice. Although, actually, I'm just wondering if I have configured this right, because there's hardly anyone here. But that's fine anyway. I'm a bit later than normal. Apologies for that. It's just a sort of thing that goes on these days around here, where I have to wake up at a certain time, be available as a obviously YouTuber, streamer, but also a father, a husband, a driver, a chauffeur, that is. Also the guy who goes and buys all the groceries and anything in between. So, then eventually you run out of time and you're like, you know what? I'm knackered. I could use a nap. So you got to take a nap and then you realize you're late. So that's why I'm late. Sorry, everybody. I also look exhausted. My kid poked me in the eye this morning and my eye is looking rough. So, she got me right in there. I was like, oh, good morning. And just right in there, like with excitement. But she got me right in the eye with the nail and everything. It was kind of a shit show. It hurts too, which is not a good sign, but I'm okay for now. Anyway, we are going to have a look and see what is going on all over the internet today, but also we're going to be focusing on a few little things. Now, first of all, there have been a couple of trailers, a couple of reveals that have come out, and I know a couple of my friends have already had a look at them. We're talking about Halo and even another game from Game Freak, which I knew vaguely in the back of my mind was there, but I had not actually considered. So if there's time, if we extend, I'll be taking a look at that as well. But I will at the very least be taking a look at the Fable gameplay overview, because even though I've never actually owned an Xbox, I did spend a little time playing Fable a few years ago, and the original one, I think, and it a long time ago, actually, like 2 decades ago. Quite enjoyed that. And, obviously the Fable game has been the subject of a lot of mockery over the last few years because of the fact that the woman looked like she had her face beaten in with an ugly stick. So, also, there was no mention of a male character. I'm told there is now, but I haven't seen it. I want to go blind. I'm going to react. We'll have a look. I also have a very interesting story that I missed from a few days ago, like a week ago now. And it's from the Elder Scrolls 6 lore master, the Elder Scrolls lore master, who's talking about why he left Bethesda and effectively what the hell happened to the Elder Scrolls 6. Now, a lot of people are not really talking about this, so it's probably not going to be great for the old SEO today, but it's a question I've had in the back of my mind for about 8 years now. Where the hell is the Elder Scrolls 6? It just isn't there. It's not out yet, and it's been an obscene amount of time since it was first announced, and we haven't even had so much as a second look at it. So it's due. Since we're now getting trailers for Fable and things like that, it would be really nice if we could get a look at what the hell happened to the Elder Scrolls 6. And unfortunately, it's not a happy tale, and it's not one that's going to give you a lot of optimism. It's pretty depressing, actually, but we're going to go into it anyway. And it does give us a lovely insight into the absolute fucking state of Bethesda in 2026, and indeed beforehand. We've also got some Ubisoft news. The arrogance just will not die for that company, no matter how many times they get utterly felted. So we'll laugh at them as well. And also, apparently, this is a new one. Apparently, the only reason that Dave Filoni got to where he is in Lucasfilm is because Genndy Tartakovsky rejected Lucas's offer. And that, to me, as someone who has never really liked or respected the Clone Wars, except for the Genndy Tartakovsky one, that's a very interesting point. So we're going to get into all of that. So I hope you'll be around for the duration. It's going to be a fun couple of hours. We'll peek over all of that stuff. In the meantime, quick shout-outs are due to everybody in the chat. Because, of course, as I always say, before we set off, please ensure you keep your brain inside the vehicle at all times with your eyeballs firmly screwed to the screen. We've got St. Hugo here. Hello, and also I see what you've done there. I'll get to that in a second. Thank you very much. Stephen's here as well. Love to see it. Nice to see you, Stephen. Appreciate you being here as well. As Zalosi is here, and we've got something to have a look at there as well. And John's here as well. Chat's quiet right now, but that's probably my fault for going live at a very, very, very strange time. But anyway, that's all for now. In as much as anything else, though, I do appreciate you guys being here, and we'll be here for a little while now. So if you're liking the stream, I think you know probably by now what I want you to do, right?
The stream.
Yeah, that would be lovely. Please like the stream. Don't forget to slap the love button in the corner of the chat. You can see it. It looks like a heart. I'm told if you rub it just right, it might just do something special for you. But I don't know. What I can say is if you do it, more people might find the stream. And that will be very handy for all of us. Anyway, that's about it. Although, of course, the standard grift is to be grifted. Your in-flight entertainment can be found by hitting the join button and joining the Grift Force. It does help keep the ship in the skies. You can also gift memberships, but I see you already know that. So, of course, as well, if you have any questions or comments on any of the subjects, or you just want to pull over for a second, it all gets too much for you and you need a break and just to get my attention, then don't forget to tip your driver. There you go. That's it. With all of that said, then let's see what you guys are doing in the chat. I see already that St. Hugo gifted 1 membership already, 1 for the princesses and the Grift Force. Appreciate you guys, legends. Course Zelosi, hello to you. Nice to see you in the chat, man. As gifted 5 for the fucking Grift Force. Yeah, that's 5 for the princesses and 5 for the Grift Force. Thank you very much.
Let's go, Grift Force! Doing it for the princesses!
Yeah! It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much. That is much appreciated indeed. So thank you indeed. Yeah, we'll get to the topics then because there is nothing else. God, I just keep seeing my own eye in this damn monitor and I look absolutely terrible. It's really not good. Oh well, whatever. Let's kick it off. We've got some memes we're going to have a look at before we go any further. We've got here at 5mind.com. This is one that I thought was particularly good. Be the American the Japanese think you are. You got Kyle there. I don't even know who that guy is. Of course, this is the president from Saints Row, and no, I've seen this, but I'm drawing a blank on her as well. Probably you guys can tell me as well. But either way, yeah, you should try to be one of these. And if you're a male, you should only try to be one of the 3. And if you're a female, you should only try to be one of 1. Anyway, there we go. Yeah, that's a funny little meme. The rest of them, these today, have just been about the obvious stuff, like this, of course. The Clintons, I hear, are currently deciding that they are above the law, despite repeatedly saying that they are not, or no one is above the law. Pretty sure that was the major talking point of the 4-year run up to the 2024 election. Nobody's above the law. Donald Trump's not above the law. Of course he's not above the law, but neither is Hillary Clinton or Bill Clinton for that matter. And for that matter as well, neither is Barack Obama. So what happened to that? I'd very much like to know. Inquiring minds do want to know, even though I'm not in the US or a US citizen, because what happens there will affect us all. And if you don't think it is, well, it's really just a very naive take, isn't it? If you don't think it will affect you guys. Metal Gear Revengeance? What? What was what? What? I don't know. One of those characters? No. We had Saints Row. We had Guile, obviously, in Street Fighter. Think a character from Yu-Gi-Oh! And the big-titted anime with brown skin. I don't know. Anime waifu. I don't know who she is, though. I can't remember. It drives me nuts. But whatever, anyway. Mine are hotter. All right, let's get into this then. We've got some topics. We've got a few topics that I want to talk about. We'll start off with Ubisoft because this won't take too long and it's a nice warm-up for the stream. So Ubisoft. Now, you may remember I've spent 2-3 years now basically burning Ubisoft to the ground on this channel, and deservedly so, of course. Little bastards think they can get away with anything. Of course, since at the beginning of 2024, when they first said that gamers would have to get comfortable not owning their games anymore, I mean, that's one of the most unbelievably rotted things you could possibly have ever said. But they did say it, and it pissed off all the gamers. They then proceeded to follow up on that by releasing turkey after turkey after turkey after turkey, all of which flopped spectacularly and led to basically all of us laughing our asses off at them for the last 2 years. I'm talking Skull and Bones, Assassin's Creed Mirage, Star Wars Outlaws, and of course, the big, beautiful bastard bomb that was Assassin's Creed Shadows, where they literally spent an entire year from, well, not 9 months, let's say. No, actually, it was before that. It was about May to March of 2024, basically going on a constant apology tour, and yet never actually fixing anything that they were being forced to apologize for. It was pretty terrible. Pretty damn terrible indeed. But hey, there it is. That's what's up. And of course, they've had to restructure their entire business. They've created a shell company. They've done this. They've done that. They've closed, God, half a dozen studios in the last like 4 or 5 months. And basically laid off most of their employees, unless they're in the C-suite. They've also been sued in the C-suite for what amounts to apparently SA of various people, women being and men being abused and mistreated in a sexual way in the Ubisoft offices, where there's that story of a woman being duct taped to an office chair, wheeled into the elevator and sent up to the C-suite. That sounds really sinister, doesn't it? But there you go. I genuinely can't recall of it. There's too much now. There's just too much shit that Ubisoft has done in the last 2.5 years to destroy themselves, to absolutely shunt themselves, that I genuinely can't remember from just the top of my head all the things that Ubisoft has done. And I am actually going to have to get like an AI to work with me to compile every single thing, every step from January 2024 to January 2026, when their stock price is now at €4 or something absolutely pathetic like that. In fact, I'm just going to check that right now, because I was surprised as all hell yesterday, and what? No, that can't be right. That can't be right. No, I don't think that's the right one. I don't think that's the right one. Whew, I almost shit a bed there, man. Wow, that's not right. That's the wrong Ubisoft. That's okay. Phew, that said 0. All right, so where are we at today? Oh, we're at €4.05. That's abysmal. It's not as quite as low as it was yesterday. An all-time low yesterday of $3.99. But genuinely, at this point, I don't think they are, in fact, going to... it's still tracking down again. So whatever little bump they got this morning or earlier today, they're not getting it again. It's just going to keep getting worse. I think we'll probably see the get as low as 2, maybe 1, before the end of this quarter. That wouldn't be surprising. They have nothing going on. They keep closing their studios, and everything they release bombs. Wouldn't be remotely surprised. As Zalosi says, by 2027, wouldn't be surprised if Tencent owned it completely. Yeah. I mean, they own 20% of Vantage Studios, which, as it stands right now, is the new subsidiary company that they created to basically hide their biggest IP to protect them from whatever fate awaits the parent company, a shell company, in other words. And well, it's sketchy as all hell, but it's something that you can do, I suppose, if you need to protect your assets from liquidation or whatever the hell awaits them. But yeah, that was formulated with a 20% investment from Tencent. So congratulations, we are now communist Ubisoft. Great. Okay, wonderful. The Chinese government getting involved there as well then, I suppose. Brilliant. Just what you need. Well, they are largely based in Canada, of course, and Canada's really cozying up to China lately. So if you've been watching the WEF, as of course I have, but I haven't been reporting on it because Well, I mean, why would I? It's not what people come here for. So, but I've been watching. Holy shit, have I been watching? Go green and go. Anyway, Ubisoft, they don't seem to learn. They don't ever seem to learn that no one is remotely interested in what they are offering, what they are trying to do, what they've done with their IPs, or what they might be doing in the future. Everybody is pretty much at this point only interested in laughing at Ubisoft. It's kind of like they've become the dark side Phil of companies. They're the lol cow developer at this point. Everything they do just makes us laugh. So imagine my humor when I read this earlier on, that Ubisoft wants Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six to be annual billionaire brands. Okay, buddy, time to put down the crack pipe, I think. Jesus Christ. While we're at it, I'd like to be streaming to 1,000 people right now and making 100K a year. That would be really nice. Yeah, thanks. While we're asking for things, you know, I'd also like a midnight blue Lamborghini, although I couldn't really drive it in the city. But, you know, what else am I asking for? I don't know. You know, I don't really want anything. This is the problem I have. I don't really want anything. I just want to be able to take care of my family. So there we go. Anyway, Ubisoft have decided that Assassin's Creed look at John. Yeah, I laughed my ass off earlier on when I read that as well. That's insane, right? That is insane. They actually said this just days after closing their latest studio and letting like 70 people worry about their jobs. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Anyway, oh boy. Let's have a look. In a new Ubisoft press release detailing a major organization restructuring and financial update. It's like watching The Quartering. It's like fucking much. It's like, my channel is under attack. My revenue is down. My viewership is in the toilet. Please buy coffee brand coffee. Oh, shit. No. That's insane. Right. Sorry, I'm just pinging out the link to a couple of friends who were asking. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, so this is madness. This is complete madness. They are literally trying to say that we're going to close all our studios. We're going to fire all our devs. We're going to go basically into hibernation until we finally emerge with something. The only announced game that I can think of that they're actually bringing to the table right now that's AAA in any way is Assassin's Creed Hex or Hexe, which is lesbian witches. So lesbian assassin witches it is then, I suppose. But for a company that is closing its doors left, right, and center, a company whose stock price has gone from 80 euros to 4 euros in the last 5 years, and they have literally had to create a shell company partnering with the communist Chinese in order to be able to avoid actually liquidating their fucking assets and going straight down the goddamn toilet. Now they turn around and they're like, but don't worry, guys, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six, you know, those brands that we had to hide because otherwise we'll have to sell them. Oh, they're going to be annual billionaire brands soon, mate. Soon. Very, very soon. Jesus Christ. Fentanyl must be a hell of a drug. Outrageous. So even as they are literally going over their organizational restructuring and financial updates, which basically means closing studios, they've closed Halifax, they closed doors in Abu Dhabi, in Sweden. There have been hundreds of jobs lost. They're absolutely destroyed. And guess you guys are going to have to get used to us not owning your games, huh? Anyway, the future of the company and the several creative houses that sit under it, blah, 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 blah. So they were talking about how Vantage is just one of 5 creative houses that they're going to own and open. And they're all going to focus on different types of games. You're going to have live services guys. You're going to have sports guys. You're going to have shooter guys. And then you're going to have Vantage, which is going to be operating with Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, and indeed Rainbow Six, which are the only 3 major brands that Ubisoft still has. This is indeed correct. Pure, uncut copium. Indeed it is, mate. Yes. So as I'm saying, the big headline then is that they claim that they're going to be able to turn these around and actually turn them into billionaire annual franchises. They genuinely learned nothing. It was only, what, 10 years ago. It was 10 years ago that they realized that Assassin's Creed games, sales-wise, were trending downwards. With Syndicate, I think I loved Syndicate, by the way, great game. Mostly because it was set in London and I actually could climb buildings I recognized from my literal work. But yeah, they realized that they were not selling as well as they might have been, and they decided, okay, we're gonna have to take a year off from pumping out annual Assassin's Creed games, and we'll be back with a new formula soon. And that formula became Origins, which was pretty good actually. And then they totally shit the bed with Odyssey, where they pumped out basically the mechanical sequel to Origins, but blown up times about 3 in terms of the geographical scope, and of course made it so that there were RPG mechanics up the arse in a game series that definitely doesn't need them, just so that it would take you a month to go up a couple of levels and hope that you would then pay for the microtransaction booster to make the game level like a normal game would. Bastards. There's very many things like this have led to this fate for Ubisoft. Anyway, that is yet another tangent. See, they come reeling out of my head, my various issues with Ubisoft, and they're not going to stop. Eventually, I am going to make a freaking documentary about their downfall because they deserve it. But yeah, so they'd seem to think then that the solution is to go back to annual releases. What are you doing? Anyway, let's carry on. Intends for Vantage Studios, co-led by Charlie Guillemot. Right. If you're going to have a Ubisoft, you need to get rid of these people. These Guillemots, they got to go. They got to go, buddy. Out of here. Easy good. Hello, mate. How you doing? That's my pal back in England. All good. Good old nickel and diming. Indeed, man. Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, they're being led by Charlie Guillemot, who is part of the cancerous Guillemot family that started Ubisoft and has led it to its fate. Now, they genuinely need to go. These guys are greedy beyond any measure, and they genuinely have to get out. They've got to go, man. They've got to go. To drive the gaming titans' biggest franchises to new heights. And by the way, I dig Insider Gaming as a website. They're pretty straight down the middle, generally speaking. They veer a bit left occasionally, but you know, not far enough that it's become an issue for me. I wouldn't compare them to, say, Kotaku or PC Gamer, but hell, even PC Gamer can put out a based article once a month or so. But I like this this publication because it tends to be unpolitical or apolitical, but they do play the game of fucking access simping. So, you know, we're going to have to get used to the idea that they're probably not going to be laughing at this concept of Ubisoft wanting annual releases for their 3 franchises, as they are still closing studios left, right, and center. They're not going to be laughing about it as much as I am. So anyway, even amid a downturn that has just seen more layoffs and cancellation surface. Yeah, okay, so that's about all the skepticism we'll probably get from them, although I'm open to being pleasantly surprised. The new press release published by Ubisoft isn't all doom and gloom, but there's a fair bit of it wrapped up in the 7 pages of the document. For instance, it was confirmed that the new Prince of Persia remake is officially cancelled. Jesus Christ. That's the latest one, of course. We talked about it yesterday on WTF Live. What are you doing, Ubisoft? Jesus. Nothing goes right for this company. They deserve it. Every bit of it. But that actually might have made them some bloody money. That might have done it. Prince of Persia was one of the most recognized Ubisoft brands in the last 30 years. In fact, 40 years. Prince of Persia has been coming out, released by Ubisoft, and they just cancelled it. Just bye-bye. Well, can't afford it anymore, can we? We cannot afford it. What can I say? It is, as you English say, fact. So there we go. Midway through the document, excuse me, The talk turned to the Creative House ecosystem that sits under the wider Ubisoft umbrella. There are 5 creative houses at Ubisoft, each positioned for a different purpose. The first to be revealed was Vantage Studios. So they're actually trying to grow. Like, you've got $1 billion from Tencent, and you're going to spread it 5 ways? Oh, well, at least they'll stop putting out quadruple A games for a few years then, I suppose. But there we go. The Master System 2. Yes, I could be injured by yawning wrong. Yeah. Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Rainbow Six. The mission statement for Vantage Studios was detailed. Vantage Studios is focused on scaling and extending Ubisoft's largest and established franchises to turn them into annual billionaire brands. Holy shit. It's like it is like watching the quartering. It is. It's like there's a clip of a stream of the quartering when he's sitting there with his miserable hostages, Hannah Claire and Melanie Mac, and he's sick and he's got to go because he's actually genuinely ill after going to Amfest and humiliating himself, of course. But then he's going, I think I might have to lie down. And Hannah Claire says, oh, well, you know, what can I do if you have to go? He's like, well, just keep running the stream. If just get some super chats, make sure you get all the super chats and the memberships. Make sure we're making some money. We need money. And it's like, okay, look, we all like super chats. Hint, hint, you know, but you don't have to just blatantly sit there, Dr. Evil style, and say the quiet part out loud. If they just said annual brands, it would have been a little bit easier to swallow. But no, it's give us all the money all the time. It's just sad, man. They really are. Maybe they won't release annual games. Maybe they'll release games in chapters or something so that they have some stream of revenue. I wouldn't put it past them pulling a Square Enix and doing something like that. But or Nintendo at this point actually as well. That's a good point. They do genuinely carve entertainment out of games these days. Nintendo, they've changed. Anyway, that's a bold and very ambitious endeavor. Whoa, wow, that's interesting there, isn't it? Wow.
I've got some bad news. Bad news.
That's not going to happen. Ubisoft wants these franchises to make $1 billion a year. To put that into perspective, it was suggested in 2024 that since launching in 2016, Rainbow Six Siege has generated approximately $3.8 billion in revenue. So it took 8 years for a game you launched at the peak of your powers to make $3.8 billion. And you now, as you are literally fucking firing everybody and closing all your studios, are already turning around and suggesting that you can make fucking 3 times the amount of money that you were making before. But this is absolute retardation. I cannot even begin to comprehend how stupid you have to be. It's like, I mean, it's like getting in the ring with Money Mayweather and getting KO'd in one punch and then deciding, okay, I'm going to go fight Tyson in the 90s. Yeah, all right. Good job. It's like something like that, you know? It's like losing at level 2 and deciding to play level 10. What are you doing? Smegheads is here for Australian Fiver. Thank you very much, man. Says Fark will for SC baiting. It won't work on me. I are reals smurds. Well, I far be it for me to assume I could bait anybody into sending a super chat against their will. Would never try to do something like that. I would certainly never, ever be accused of grifting or panhandling or anything like that. Not at all. Thank you for $5.
Thank you for $5.
That one caught me off guard again. Whenever it does that, it just makes me laugh. thank you for $5. Yeah, no, this is absurd, of course. It's completely insane. Everything that's been going on is completely and totally insane at Ubisoft. And, well, it all makes plenty of sense, really, if you think about it. I mean, they certainly do deserve all of the punishment that is coming to them. Interesting. I don't seem to have put in the right details for something. Just 1 second. All right, there we go. All right, I think I'm good now. Apologies. Slight technical hiccup there, but back on track. It's invading the Soviet Union while you're already at war. It is that. And Zukov has an army of Mike Tysons. That's true. That's true. So, yeah. My buddy's a funny guy. Yeah, so there we go. So back in perspective then, it took them 8 years when they were actually a profitable, booming AAA game studio, despite everything, to make $3.8 billion. Estimates suggest that Assassin's Creed has earned Ubisoft just north of $4 billion in the last 10 years. How many games have come out in that time? We had, well, I just said it, didn't I? Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla, and Shadows. And Mirage. Oh, and a mobile game apparently as well. Damn, man. They really did slow down, didn't they? Well, what were they making before that? How much did the Assassin's Creed 1 through Syndicate make them over that period of 7 years? Is that right? Assassin's Creed 1 came out in 2009, I think. I'm going to double check that a second. Hang on. Assassin's Creed 1 release. 2007, right? Okay, now that makes a bit more sense. Yeah, 2007, right? Then the sequel came out like 2 years after that, etc., etc. So over 9 years, they had Jesus Christ, this is going to take a bit of doing now, isn't it? They've got to try and remember all the fucking Assassin's Creed games. 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, Remastered 3. This is my Steam list. Black Flag, Unity, Syndicate. That's 8. Oh, and there was a 9th. There's another one in there too where they... Oh, in fact, there were some spin-offs too. So there's more than 10, definitely. They've definitely slowed down in the second decade. And now they are concerned that they only made $4 billion in 10 years. Cuckoo! Fucking mental. And now they want these franchises to make $1 billion a year. Okay, what are they going to do? Release them again? Probably. Bush McFadden, hello in the chat. Shout out to you. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, let's see then. There's ambiguity at play here. Okay. Does Ubisoft mean brands that make $1 billion annually, or does the company mean making them brands that worth $1 billion that release new iterations annually? Well, you've just said $1 billion a year, so I took it that way as well. But, well, let's see, I suppose. The latter certainly feels like more of an easy accomplishment. Well, of course, I mean, that's they're already technically $1 billion franchises. It's just that you don't have those billions anymore. Suffer, Ubisoft. Anyway, there was AC Chronicles. Yeah, there was that. And then there was the one fucking the one that came out right at the same time as Unity, but it was only a PS3 exclusive, and you played as the guy who kills the French dude's father in Unity, Arnaud's dad. Like, literally, it ends as Unity begins. I can't think. Rogue, that's it, because he switches and becomes a Templar. Yeah, Rogue. Thank you. Yes, of course. Shay Cormac. That's it. That's the guy. Yeah, my buddy was back in the UK some years ago now. He had that one and I had Unity, and then he got Unity. But there you go. So anyway, for instance, Far Cry, which hasn't seen a new game since 2021, and that release wasn't just wasn't the commercial hit Ubisoft might have hoped for. Yeah, this is insanity. I don't believe that they can do this at all. I don't believe that they can even release a game on the same level that they were. And to be fair, that's probably a good thing, because they've been flying way too close to the fucking sun in terms of turning every single core franchise that they have into some sort of live service bullshit machine. It's not been printing money. It's been printing shite. And everyone knows it. We're all sick of it. That's the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Ubisoft, of course. But still, that is a thing that they've been doing, and it's apart from their insanely anti-customer attitudes and arrogance up the ass, they have been in, just pumping out slop, like gigantic maps full of nothing for literally years. Oh, Liberation was there too. Yeah, that's true. But it's been like this. It's just been this machine of pumping out Ubisoft for over a decade at this point, and now they turn around. They've been completely felted. They have to close everything. All their studios are getting shut. All their employees are getting fired, and they turn around and say they want to turn it into a fucking $1 billion, all of them into $1 billion brands. Well, of course that's what you want. That's what you wanted before, right? Surely, $1 billion a year. This is just madness. It's just this tiny little nugget of information released, otherwise in a torrent of fucking bad news. That yet they turn around. Oh, but it's fine though, guys, because I'll just make all the money back. Will you though? Your name is mud. I will not be buying a Ubisoft game anytime soon, and I will not be buying a game from Vantage Studios either. I don't particularly feel like giving my money to Xi Jinping. So this is not going to happen. Why would they imagine for even a second that anyone's going to be taking them seriously when they say this? Absolute insanity. Anyway, there you go. Next up, then, we are going to talk about the negative subject of this interview that took place with the Elder Scrolls Lore Master. Yes, I know it's PC Gamer, politically correct gamer. Because this kind of got overlooked. I haven't seen anybody talking about it. And then I found this one random video from a channel I'd never seen before talking about it. And I was really very interested because, like most of you, or many of you, I would imagine, I've been waiting about 8-9 years or so to hear anything about the Elder Scrolls 6 because it genuinely just hasn't actually materialized. And we get to hear all about why that happened and why. I don't know why this isn't a bigger story. This should be a huge fucking scandal, but it's not. Smegheads, do you reckon it's just for investors like positive info to get stock prices to increase because this does not calculate reality? Well, I mean, it was right after they released that statement that their stock price plummeted. They lost something like 39% in a day. Absolutely mental. That geezer's been properly stitched up. If it's who I think it is, it's Coleman. Some people call him Coleman. Can't think of his first name, but yeah, he was promised to be the lead designer on Elder Scrolls 6. I don't think he is. Damn it! I should have got some water before I went live. Fuck, rookie mistake. And everyone's asleep. If I have to dip out for a minute, stick around. All right. Anyway, here we go. Kurt Coleman, that's his name. The longtime Elder Scrolls lore master. So, yeah, this guy's more or less, you know it, don't you? This guy's more or less responsible for most of the things that the real fans really love about the Elder Scrolls, and that would be the world building, the colossal amounts of lore dumpage that are in those games if you are the kind of person who goes and reads every book on a shelf just because they're there, which many of us are. Or if you play Elder Scrolls for long enough, you will do, because why not? Yeah, he's pretty much the guy who's more steeped in the lore of the Elder Scrolls universe than anybody else, more than Todd Howard, more than anybody. But he actually left Bethesda 3 years ago after 2 decades in the company, and no one really ever found out why, and now we're going to. His departure did not make headlines, but it rumbled those who know the series best. Michael Kirkbride, who worked alongside Coleman on Morrowind and Oblivion, the most beloved games in the series to the real core hardcore fans. Yeah, verbal promise from Todd, indeed. He wrote at the time that Kurt was the best writer the Elder Scrolls ever had. His leaving will be to the creative detriment of the Elder Scrolls 6. Indeed. There is actually, there's a Reddit archive of the original post from back in 2023. Someone wrote, very sad. I mean, obviously it's Reddit, so it's pure gay cancer, but oh well. Very sad to hear, but Kurt has officially parted ways with the BGS. Bethesda Game Studios team, according to his LinkedIn page, staple of the Elder Scrolls series since Daggerfall, along with Todd Howard and Michael Kirkbride. Kurt was one of the main designers and writers of the Elder Scrolls RadART, which saw the creation of the first pocket guide of the Empire and the beginnings of the cosmology of the modern format of the Elder Scrolls. Steeped. When asked if there's a definitive Bible or guide to the Elder Scrolls, Skyrim writer Shane Liesgang replied, Kurt's brain. And they lost him. So just to not underestimate how much of a fucking dramatic hit that is to any future Elder Scrolls. Anyway, Jargo does not want part 6. Jargo knows what writers want to do with the fur these days. Yeah, indeed. I don't know why I'm having trouble reading. I think it's because I was just asleep. Anyway, it says it was almost certainly time for a change, says Coleman. Almost certainly. Sounds like that was not plan A then, buddy. Who now works at the Tencent-owned studio, Lightspeed LA. Fuck. Those bastards are everywhere, aren't they? Just go indie, Kurt. Just go indie. You can do it. There were some things that had been going on for a long time that I'd not been super happy with. Yeah. Understatement of the century. Some were an inevitable result of Bethesda's boom years, with hundreds of developers across multiple studios making Starfield. Yeah, well, when they started making Elder Scrolls games, it was just a bunch of guys. Just one team of guys doing what guys do, nerdy shit, building cool things, messing around with tech, trying to entertain themselves. And they ended up entertaining the whole world. And of course, as you become more and more popular, these core groups get fragmented. Some become management, some become different departments, and before long, you're some giant conglomerate that no longer cares about the core things that originally made it great. It happens over and over and over again in every avenue of life. I don't need to explain corporatism to you, except that the operative syllable is tism. Anyway, yeah, so of course they ended up with multiple different studios making Starfield, which is probably why Starfield was such a fucking mess. But there's another reason, and it's linked to a promise Todd Howard made to him about the Elder Scrolls 6, a promise he says was never fulfilled. Coleman's tenure at Bethesda was split in two. As a junior designer in 96 and 97, he worked on the Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall, the Elder Scrolls Adventures RadART, and pre-production of Morrowind. Well, that would be it, wouldn't it? He returned in 2003 and was involved in every major Bethesda game after that point, including as co-lead designer on Skyrim and as lead systems designer on Starfield. Okay. He became the Elder Scrolls lore master because of his longevity at the studio and his shaping of Tamriel's history. When ZeniMax Online Studios began making the Elder Scrolls Online, Coleman was assigned to field lore questions. Right. Over this 2-decade second run, Bethesda ballooned and its culture changed, he said, particularly after 2011 Skyrim. And yeah, we all felt it. We all noticed it. I mean, if only for the fact that Skyrim could run on an Amazon Alexa. By the time they were finished reiterating and re-updating and re-releasing the whole fucking game on every system, everything but the bloody kitchen sink, it was clear that some priorities had changed. It was, you know, we all laughed and made memes about it, but that's probably, you know, to hide the deeper concern that everybody had that this is not the same Bethesda anymore, because the Bethesda that everybody knew before that were just obsessed with making the Elder Scrolls and making them as good as possible. And they did. Oblivion is fucking glorious. The remaster that just came out not that long ago, a year ago nearly, but you know, that was a really great thing that they did. The updated version is really nice. I really enjoyed it. I know that's a bit of a milquetoast normie take, but I did, so whatever. Smegheads for $2 says Starfield, less famous than an Az rant. Exactly. Yeah. Everyone remembers Az's massive epic rant on that, of course. Pronouns! Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity! Yeah, I remember. I was actually, did he do that live? I think I saw it live, or I saw it like the second after it was posted by, what's his name? Dan Vask on X, of course. And then everybody saw it and we were laughing our asses off. And of course, he became temporarily massively infamous on the internet for that, which is probably good for him, you know. You're boring. You're so fucking boring. Yeah, it is boring. This stuff now. Woke shit, gender bullshit. Yeah, fuck off. Boring. Change the bloody record. Thank you very much, Smegheads, for the $2. Appreciate you. Yeah. Anyway, we'll carry on. Skyrim obviously was a massive, mega hit. It was a massive, colossal blockbuster. Everyone and their mums was playing it. It was like when Final Fantasy VII came out. And you saw what that did to Square Enix. It did the same thing when Skyrim came out to Bethesda. It's a shame. You never want to succeed too much, apparently. Because then in come the stuffed suits, the grifters, the penny pinching, middle managers, the corporate bitches, and all the other shit. And before you know it, you're Todd Howard standing on a stage saying it just works and then releasing Fallout 76. Like a twat. But there we go. Anyway, in the early days, it was a close group of developers, including Todd Howard in the basement office, making decisions and eating in the canteen together, he says. What I say. But new offices opened and other studios were folded in by owners ZeniMax Media, including Battlecry Studios and Escalation Studios, both in 2018. ZeniMax was itself bought by Microsoft in 2021. It just keeps getting worse, man. Yeah, probably. Stephen Bromby says, I'm probably one of the 5 people left on the planet who hasn't played Skyrim. Really? That's interesting. Have you played Oblivion? Because if you've played Oblivion, you should probably play Skyrim. Although, minor warning, for various things that are upgraded from Oblivion into Skyrim, there's a lot of streamlining and simplification and kind of dumbing down. However, Skyrim's great. There's no point denying it. It's a great game. People love it. There are people who still play Skyrim to this day. It's crazy. It's literally like it's a finite game with a fucking ending and a lot of content in it, but some people just never stopped playing it like a live service. They just keep re-rolling new characters and playing it again in new and different ways. And good for them. Really good for them. I wish I had time for something like that. I platinumed it for the second time in 2018, and then it might be the last platinum I got. I can't even remember. No, I think it was like Assassin's Creed 2 or something like that. Anyway, by the time Starfield shipped in 2023, it's 4 remote studios all working together on a game. Bet the Coof didn't help with much of that either. Skyrim's one of those games you can just enjoy walking around in. Yeah, it is, yeah. It's that's the beauty of the Bethesda, especially the Elder Scrolls games, but this does apply to the modern Fallout games as well. You can finish the story and then just leave yourself a few achievements and go back for a holiday at some point. I've done it. I did it with Fallout 3. I did it with Fallout 4. Just kept going back to the save and going, what else can I do in this? I'm sure I can't have seen everything. So there it is. When you get to that size, he says, you can't have people just popping into Todd Howard's office to chat about a design point. He's not having lunch with everybody. It's very different when it's 400 people, 4 studios, big business, and Microsoft is now involved. Sounds like this guy is just that, exactly what we thought. You know, the lore master, the nerd, the geek, the guy who made it what it was, and then the corporate machine rolled in and ran right over him. And that's a fucking terrible shame. It's a travesty. It's an indictment, is what it is. Absolutely an indictment. Size brought problems. Well, there you go. I'm sure I can make a dick joke there somewhere, but my brain's not fast enough right now. I'm going to go grab some water in a minute and have a brief intermission, so I'll play the intro again for you boys. But I'll only be 2 minutes, so do stick around. In the meantime, decisions that on Oblivion would have been made on the spot after a face-to-face conversation were instead filtered through layers of management. Sometimes developers couldn't even work out who had made those decisions. Oh, wow. That's fucking appalling. That's terrible. That's exactly what I was talking about. Corporatism rolls in and everything turns to shit. It's the same every time. It's always what happens. Before you know it, you've become some massive Leviathan company that doesn't have a fucking clue where its head is from its tail. Always the same. Absolutely always the same. Do you need to have played Morrowind and Oblivion to play Skyrim? No, you don't. No, they're all set like hundreds of years apart. You can, in fact, read a book in Skyrim that tells you the entire story of Oblivion. But it's not necessary. No, not at all. To date, I've never played the original Elder Scrolls game, or Daggerfall for that matter. Only Oblivion, then Skyrim, and then some years later I played a little bit of Morrowind. I own all three of them. In fact, I think I own... Hang on. Let me have a look. Elder Scrolls. I've got online 3, 4, and 5, yeah. In fact, I've got 4 twice. I've got Oblivion twice because I got the remaster as well. Anyway, this is just fucking disappointing. Yeah, they're separate. They're all taking place in the same world, Stephen, but they're in different eras completely. So it won't affect the other. You know, like what happened in Oblivion is already hundreds of years earlier by the time you play Skyrim. Anyway, he also describes communication breakdowns during Starfield's development. Yeah, Arena, Daggerfall, Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls Online. That's it, yeah. Where teams didn't understand what they were supposed to be doing. Quote, or, there'd be people talking to the leads in one studio and getting an answer, and people talking to the leads in the other studio and getting maybe a different answer. Fucking hell. Oh, my God. See, this is why you don't go remote. Once you go remote, that's all she wrote. A snowball. Bethesda's growth and the problems that came with it were a slow rolling change, he says, and predated Microsoft's acquisition. Well, yeah, of course. It's probably ZeniMax. And those changes sound as if they're exemplified by how Howard's role shifted. Well, you see, this is the thing. We all make fun of Todd Howard, but I can easily see how a guy like him who, like Coleman, just started making games, and before you know it, you're the front man of a fucking major technological conglomeration, and you're having to learn all this shit that you probably don't really know how to do, so you have to hire people to do it for you, and then they are not really giving you the lowdown on what's going on, and before you know it, you're standing on stage saying it just works and then releasing Fallout 76. I said that last as an indictment of him, but it could also just as easily be a sympathetic tone, because I don't know. I don't know what that must have been like when that game came out. And then he realized, oh, fuck, my word is as good as mud now. There we go. It's true. In fact, yeah, he's a good. You were saying, yeah, he used to work for Coca-Cola. He did. I remember that. And it was mental how many desks even simple decisions had to cross. That's corporate life. Yes, it is. It's hell. Literally meetings about meetings about meetings. It should have been emails. It's a giant bloat machine. This is by the way, the end result of the bloat machine. Hello, Ubisoft. Could happen to Bethesda as well. They better watch out. Anyway, Todd's a very good project lead, and I can believe that, absolutely. And fundamentally, he says, I think he's a designer at heart, and he's good at it, obviously, if you look back at the games. Right. This is where Todd Howard should be. But over time, he got busier, and every part of this larger and larger organization wanted him to do stuff for their project, he would get pulled away. Typical. Textbook. Howard made good decisions, Coleman says, so when he wasn't around, games suffered. Sometimes choices made in Howard's absence needed undoing later. Yeah, you end up doing twice the work. The way decisions were made wasn't the only problem for Coleman, though. As Bethesda grew, senior developers became more managerial and less hand-on. Toad Howard's wild ride. What? All right, whatever. Skyrim's leads, Coleman among them, were also making the game directly. For example, writing and building quests. Exactly. But by Starfield, the leads overseen by Howard included the heads of entire studios. It felt more bureaucratic, he says. The expectation was your job can't be also making content if you're actually managing the scope of the project. Exactly. We've seen this time and time and time again. One minute you're literally the guy who sits and sketches out the characters. The next you're having to go through 3 layers of management just to talk to the guy who's sketching the fucking characters. This is not conducive to actually making a good project. And it's precisely the reason why Expedition 33 was such a focused, absolutely singular fucking masterpiece of a game, because the core team of people who made the fucking game were like 12, and the greater, wider team that actually built it made a total number of 33 people. And it shows, because it knows exactly what it's trying to do and it executes it perfectly. Damn near perfectly. Nothing's perfect, but I'm sure if I could think of something that's done as perfect a job of being what it's trying to be in recent memory, it is Expedition 33. You never watched Wind in the Willows? Of course I watched Wind in the Willows. I just don't understand why Todd Howard needs comparing to Toad of Toad Hall. Anyway, I tell you what, guys, give me 1 minute. I'm just going to run and grab a bit of water, maybe a beer. If you can just hold on for me a minute, and I'll run the intro again. And we will be right back. 2 minutes, okay?
This show is intended for adult audiences. You know, people with bills, backaches, responsibilities, and a functioning sense of humor. It contains strong language, stronger opinions, and the kind of jokes that might send the emotionally fragile into a full-blown meltdown. If you're easily offended, perpetually outraged, or think words are violence, this is your cue to clutch your pearls, grab a blankie, and sprint to your nearest safe space. Or, you know, just get in the sea. We won't miss you. For everyone else, buckle up and let's have some laughs.
Rated D for Dickhead.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing.
Hello, you dirty little boys. Are you interested in my body?
I'm gonna come.
Nice tits. A real set of badonkers. Packing some Doban hunkeros.
The power of one. The power of two. The power of
What's going down, babes? Show me the loving.
Silence! You are too gay to be the doctor.
I'm wonderful, and I'm the most amazing person in the universe.
Exterminate!
These people are making a lot of money, print money, cash, money, well, capitalism.
You're watching Will of the Fans. Let's fucking go. I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Bad news.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. As promised. Slightly out of breath, but we're all right. Anyway, yeah, so that's where we got to then. So Todd Howard wants just the project leading the project. Everyone can talk to each other. Everyone is probably a room apart working on this, that, the other. You just basically say, hey, do you want me to change blah, blah, blah? Yeah. Oh, hey, can you yada, yada? Yes. Okay, done. Before you know it, you've got to email someone to set up a fucking Zoom meeting to talk to a guy that you used to just sit next to. Corporatism. Not even once. Anyway, he doesn't believe this setup is necessarily wrong, and he says it's perhaps inevitable as a studio grows. Yeah, I guess, but there's an element of it that should be avoidable, depending on what you're actually trying to do, you know. Anyway, he enjoyed leading other people, but preferred designing. He says, I didn't want to work that way because I like making games and being hands-on. Yeah. This is the same thing that I happened to go through before as well. When I started a company, I was like, okay, yeah, sure. I'll do the logo. I'll design this. I'll design whatever. I'll put out the first sort of marketing stuff, a little bit of this and that. Before long, it's like, okay, we need a team of 5 people to do this. And I'm like relegated to my desk now. I can't actually do any designing because I have a designer, and I can't do any like media because I have an editor. And I'm like, oh, so what do I do? Come and be in the next meeting. It was pretty disheartening, actually. And it's not the reason I left, but it's one of them. Anyway, how we doing, chat? We alive? Good to know. Let's get some subs. Some folks here are new and do not have green names, and that is an outrage. But there we go. Anyway, join the GRIFT force. It had got to a scale beyond where I was really enjoying working in that environment. Yeah, sounds like it. What the fuck is that? Is that from Starfield? I don't even recognize this image. It's crazy, though. But what of Todd Howard's promise? Well, Coleman says that after Skyrim, Howard verbally promised him the lead design role on the Elder Scrolls 6. Well, that sounds like the most obvious, no-brainer decision you could possibly have ever made. Yours is grey. Yes, it is, mate. You can hit the join button if you want and go green for the princesses. Which was supposed to be the next project after Fallout 4. Indeed. So effectively, you've got a guy who's been an absolute stalwart, is probably more qualified than Todd Howard to lead the fucking project at this point. He's promised him he can do it. And of course, we get the little nugget there that the next project after Fallout 4. So literally, that was what? 2015 Fallout 4. So when they announced Elder Scrolls 6, they probably were intending to make it. I remember, though, because the next year, when Todd Howard came out on stage at E3, it was one of the last E3s, I was watching that, and it was absolutely, like, it was obscene. It was crazy, because he goes on stage, and instead of saying anything, no, it was the same year that he announced Starfield. That's right. It was Starfield, and everyone was like, what about Elder Scrolls? And then suddenly we got our splash for, in fact, it might have been the year before they announced Elder Scrolls. I can't even fucking remember anymore. So what's the point of me even saying about it? But I do remember that little, like, 20-second trailer we got of just a landscape and the Elder Scrolls 6. And everyone going nuts. Noticeably, magnitudes more nuts than they went for Starfield. Quote unquote, I've been waiting 11 years to be the lead on the Elder Scrolls 6. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That's not good at all. What did you do, Todd Howard?
I've
Jesus.
got, the faggot king here, Richard, to tell me about that.
Unbelievable. But there you go. Of course, after Fallout 4, we didn't go to TES 6. We made Fallout 76. And then, even then, we didn't make the Elder Scrolls 6. We made Starfield, which became this extremely long project compared to other ones. Well, yeah, you had 4 remote studios making it during COVID. Does sound like Todd screwed him over, doesn't it? So from my point of view, I've been waiting like 11 years to be the lead on the Elder Scrolls 6. Ooh, that is mental. That's mental. If in the old days, it would have been Fallout 4, Elder Scrolls 6, Fallout 5, maybe a Fallout in between. If they'd done 76, it probably wouldn't have been online. I can only imagine, and I don't know, of course, because I don't work for Bethesda, never have, and probably never will. But I can only imagine it was all the little people whispering in Todd Howard's ear, like money, 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 money. And yeah, that's all I can picture. Just an army of worm tongues surrounding Theoden at all times, so that every decision he makes ends up being the wrong one. And before you know it, you wake up and your mate's gone. Not his son, but your mate, you know. Anyway, if that is, of course, if he's awake. I would imagine this article was probably weighing on him a bit. He says, I was obviously one of the old timers there and had a lot of experience. Bruce Nesmith and I had been the co-leads on Skyrim. I think most people would call it a successful project. Yeah, you mightn't be saying that. So I thought that it wasn't unreasonable for me to think that I could be a successful lead on TES 6. It just wasn't just my expectation. I had been told that that was going to happen. Shite. Apologies, I keep muting and coughing. I'm just getting over the flu. So that's why my voice is in my boots as well. And they made the decision, no, you're not going to be the lead. There it is. Of course, that's the shot that we saw back in, Jesus, what year was it? 2015, 2016? One of them. Or was it like, I don't know. I can't remember. I can't remember at all. Usually I can remember where I was sitting, but then I kind of moved across the other side of the planet, and that ability doesn't work so well anymore. Anyway, he remembers that being a tough conversation, and that Bethesda's leadership hoped he'd be happy with a different position. Todd said, well, we want you to have an important role in the project. But what I wanted and what he wanted were different at that point. There it is. Shout out to Lilith in the chat. Late and lame. Yep, that's right. That's all right. I don't care. Bethesda declined to comment on the topic, and Coleman says he doubts Howard would acknowledge the promise. And in any case, he could also say, well, that was a long time ago. Things changed. And he's definitely right that things changed. And the role of lead on TES 6 is very different from the role of lead on Skyrim. That's the problem. The bloat. The corporatism. This is why it takes studios nearly 10 years to produce games now. Maybe they were waiting for the Netflix Elder Scrolls TV series with Nicki Minaj as Emperor Uriel Septim VII. These are the stories of the last days and the final hours of my life. So who plays Martin then? Oh my God. Hey, he's my good buddy. Back in the UK. School chum, don't you know? Has become a member of the GRIFT Force. Thank you, sir. Very much. Appreciated, mate. And enjoy. There's going to be a bunch of old stuff that you will recognize a lot of that I'm going to upload onto this channel eventually. Members only. Now, we're talking like stuff from college, you know? So you'll recognize some of it. In retrospect, as much as he wanted it, he doesn't think he would have enjoyed it, and so they may have made the right decision of saying I shouldn't be in this role. It does kind of sound, yeah, Green Legion indeed, buddy. We get to the point where everyone watching is green. That's usually what happens. Indeed. So, yeah, I think, yeah, it wouldn't have worked, would it? You can't go back. And once the company, and Old Man Cad is here too. Shout out to you, Old Man Cad. Hope you're feeling well, my friend. Yeah, we're just talking about Elder Scrolls and the fact that the guy who was the lore master of the Elder Scrolls 6 was supposed to become the project lead on the Elder Scrolls series. He was supposed to become the project lead on the Elder Scrolls 6, was promised that much by Todd Howard, but then corporatism took over after 5. And we all know the rest. We still don't have the Elder Scrolls 6, and he left the company 2 years ago. Disappointing. Anyway, guys, thank you. Shout out to Easy Good for joining the GRIFT Force. Much appreciated. It does help keep the lights on. Of course, if you have something you want to say, drop a super or, indeed, gift some memes. Anyway, it was a combination of this missing out and his overall dissatisfaction with the way the studio had changed that made him think it was the right time to leave. Yeah, but not to go work for fucking Tencent. Couldn't he have done what Bruce Straley started off and make his own studio and start a new series? Like, I would have really liked that, you know? If someone told me this guy was pumping out, you know, dire Elder Scrolls, I'd be like, sign me up. Where? Where? Shut up and take my money, you know? But there we go. This will go a long way towards something like that. He talks about these events without malice or bitterness. It's obvious, but there's never not going to be some deep sorrow in there. I know these kinds of people. I'm friends with these kinds of people in real life. People who are proper nerds, right? Real hardcore nerds. Not geeks. Not like geeks and gamers geeky like me. We're talking fucking nerds. Lore masters and fucking nerds. Guys who can tell you what the guy sitting behind Admiral Akbar's name was, you know? Smash JT is here. Howdy, partner, for $9.99. Thank you very much, Smash. Appreciate you, brother. Sorry I haven't made it to your stream so often lately. I am more or less nocturnal these days. As you can probably tell, it's 2:45 a.m. where I am. And if I'm going to do that, I'm going to be asleep during the day. But I do catch him sometimes, lurking a little bit. Shout out to Smash JT, the man, the myth, the legend, former and possibly future SNH alum, and the most hated man by the left that I've ever seen who doesn't wear fake tan all day long. Absolute fucking legend. Have I still got the clip? Yeah, I've still got the clip. Holy crap! Holy crap! Nocturnal too. So yeah, we've definitely not seen each other then, given that we were always 15 hours apart. Yeah, fair enough. Greetings from Smash JT all the way from California there. Appreciate you, buddy. And thank you for 10. That's not...
10. Drop it.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. And we are about a third of the way, just over a third of the way to the goal as well. So if we can get to it, I will play the booba clips, of course. The AI boobas are waiting. I still, sadly, do have to confess, I still have not been able to finish the Street Fighter one yet because it has not been that kind to me today. I had a lot of errands to run. I went to get my MBI clearance to get my resident visa here in the Philippines, but I got felted by my dress code. Apparently, you need to be wearing proper shoes and proper pants. So, elitist bastards of the third world. It is like that. I'm telling you. The bureaucracy here is out of control. But, hey, how else are you going to keep all these people poor forever? Anyway... The limit bar is a quarter full. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. But I will do what I did last night, and that if we get to the goal, I'll give you a little preview of it. I have the song. It's here. And I also have my grok, which is riddled with clips of women's bouncing boobies that will eventually make it into the video, which I'll be happy to show you in their raw form. So there we go. Anyway, let me know if you can. It would be much appreciated if we could hit that goal. Helps me feed my kids, you know. In fact, it literally feeds my kids. It's not about help. That's all it does. It's obvious then, he says here, and it's sad that he's not bitter, but these kinds of people, right, they are sad about these kinds of things. Nerds will never, ever be able to get over something like this. This guy could have been the lead on probably the biggest Elder Scrolls game ever. He would have been directly in control of all of the lore and everything. Quit YouTube and move to Minnesota. It's easier money. Yeah, except that I would have to be an illegal immigrant to do it. And I don't want to get picked up by ICE. Anyway, it's sad because these guys, you know, the real sort of nerdy lore master types, they know everything about a thing, and then at a certain point that information just becomes completely useless to them. It becomes absolutely pointless, and and they have nothing to do with all of that energy and effort that they put into something and all the ideas they had that will never come to pass. And the fans are pissed off too, because we can clearly tell who we would want to be in charge of writing the lore for Elder Scrolls 6, and that is not going to happen because he's left the company because they treated him like a piece of shit after 20 years of his life. It's a disgrace, actually. I'm fucking pissed off about this. Smash, if you haven't seen this grift yet, you need to get on it, man. This guy did an interview about leaving, and this is the full story of why we still don't have the Elder Scrolls 6. So, and I haven't seen anybody talking about it. Maybe you have already, but I haven't seen anybody, so I'm covering it. But there you go. Anyway, we need to get back to where the fuck I am. Sorry about that, chaps. It's obvious that Bethesda and the Elder Scrolls still means a lot to him, and that he enjoyed working with his colleagues on those games. If Bethesda was still the smaller studio it was 15 years ago, he would love to be making the Elder Scrolls 6. He even knows what he would have done with the game's story, or at least what he would have liked to do. He said, oh yeah, I heard this in that video. This is the name of the article, by the way, Smash. Go get it. Go get it. I'm sure you'll be grifting off it tomorrow. Good, do it. Signal boost. This needs to be heard by more people. So there you go. Anyway, he had it in his mind, apparently, that the Elder Scrolls 6 was going to be like The Empire Strikes Back. And my Rian Johnson Last Jedi sense started tingling when I heard that. I was like, oh, God, no. Not subverting expectations. But then I thought, wait a minute, it's the Lore Master. I should hear him out. And boy, am I glad I did, because it sounds fucking excellent. Of course, it'll never come out, so that's depressing. But hey, ho, at least we get to think about it. He said, I had in my mind that the Elder Scrolls 6 was going to be like The Empire Strikes Back. The Thalmor, the elven supremacists who were peripheral in Skyrim's story and ultimately wanted to control all of Tamriel, would be the bad guys who come out on top, setting up the Elder Scrolls 7. Bloody knife-eared bastards. Yeah, fuck the Thalmor, man. They're the ones. Are they the ones I'm thinking? Yeah, I know who they are, but are they the ones who looked really fucking weird in Oblivion? They're the Immortals, right? Yeah, they've got the really warped fucking faces. The ones that look a bit like Cynthia Erivo. Yeah. I always get them confused with the Altmeri Dominion, but no. Yeah, the Dark Elves, basically. He saw evil triumphing as a welcome alternative to the Chosen One idea Bethesda often relied on. Well, that has been more or less everyone since certainly Oblivion. The player might have secretly saved the day at the end of the Elder Scrolls 6, he said, for example, by protecting a future heir to the throne. That's interesting, because we still don't have a true septim heir in the goddamn lore. And evidently he wanted there to be a secret septim heir, possibly someone who came back from one of the mysterious non-Tamriel lands with an army of dragons. That was apparently the original plot for, I don't know if it's in the article, it might be in the article. No, there's not a lot left. Apparently, originally the plot of Skyrim was that the remaining forgotten septim heir or Uriel the Fifth was going to come back, if you know your lore, was going to come back with an army of dragons, and that was going to be the reason for it. But then they went with Alduin and everything that happened there instead. Filthy Dunmer and Dumb Nords. Yeah, exactly. So if you preserved hope for you've preserved hope for the future, but overall it looks like Thalmor are on the march. So yeah, basically you would ultimately save your core quest. And he says he's not a nerd. All right, I'm a little bit of a nerd. I teeter on the edge. I'm friends with nerds. I'm kind of a nerd, but I'm more of a geek in as much as I'm a bit more casual. I'm not really one to dive really deep into the lore of multiple franchises. One or two, I can tell you almost everything there is to know about Zelda, for example, or the Final Fantasies that I played as a teenager. But I after that, I never read the massive amount of expanded universe books in Star Wars before they were retconned out. I read a couple, but not all of them. like that. You know, I dip my toe into the deeper side of things, but most of the time I stay fairly near the surface. Not enough to be a casual or a normie, but geek, you know. Nerds, my mate, he's a nerd. He knows like fucking everything there is to know about Star Trek, for example. In fact, I wonder what he thinks of Starfleet Academy. Anyway, but this is an interesting concept, basically doing an Empire Strikes Back, where the core quest line of the adventurer would result in saving the throne's heir, the heir to the Septim throne, perhaps, but the wider world descends into fucking chaos as the Thalmor take over and seize control of the Empire, setting up Elder Scrolls 7. Sounds like a fucking no-brainer. Like, do that. Make that now. Go back to fucking Bethesda. Don't go there, bro. Yeah, right. Exactly. James OP, absolute fucking legend in the chat. Anyway, there we go. Right. So he ultimately doesn't think Bethesda would allow an Elder Scrolls game with a bad ending. Right. So that's why it wouldn't happen these days. And with the pace of its releases, a cliffhanger is completely unfeasible. Yeah, that's not a good way to end a game and say, yeah, we'll see you in 10, 15 years. Yeah, back when it used to be 6 years, it was manageable, but not anymore. No. Fan theories point to Hammerfell, DEI much, and possibly High Rock as the locations for the next Elder Scrolls game. Corman says he doesn't know where it will be and jokes that his friends who remain at the studio can't talk to me about what's going on. The series lore master is now like all of us, watching and waiting from the outside. That's fucking depressing, isn't it? That is fucking depressing. Games are too big now. You get to teams in the several hundreds. Everything is designed by committee and burdened by bureaucracy. Fuck right. Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, I'm not doing that. To be fair, it's a good point. The ending on a cliffhanger won't be addressed for at least a decade isn't a good look. Yeah, it's not. These games all happen in chronological order and in the same universal world, but don't really lead into each other the way he's talking about the plot of 6 leading into 7. They're not exactly direct sequels, like we won't be the Dragon Ball from Skyrim in 6. We may not even hear anyone talk about them. This guy sounds like he wanted to go make a Mass Effect trilogy style story within the Elder Scrolls universe. Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, it would work, wouldn't it? And it wouldn't have to necessarily set it up, because you could have hundreds of years of Thalmori dominion over the Empire and still have them come back. You know, you grew up in that world as someone completely different, and then you have to save the world. It would work. It doesn't have to be a cliffhanger per se, but it would have been good if there was like a dark twist for the greater world while you as the player still emerge somewhat victorious. That would have been pretty cool. But there you go. Anyway, there we are. That's the fate of the Elder Scrolls 6. Very fucking depressing. In all fairness, I had a banging Redguard character in Skyrim. I sided with Sadia because I needed, a good supply of curved swords. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. But that's what happened then, basically. As most people can expect and anticipate, bloat, of course, corporatism, of course, and that's the biggest culprit, of course, as well. But then, of course, why do I keep saying of course? Todd Howard making that promise and then not being able to fulfill it. He'd been waiting 11 years to be the project lead on Elder Scrolls 6. It's not a good look, is it? No. What a shame. Oh, well, there we go. Anyway, we'll have to move on. Did we get any super chats or anything other than... No, it's just Smash JT's the last one. Okay. All right. Help me hit the goal, guys. Appreciate it. Let's move on then. We're going to talk about a series I know almost nothing about. Fable. Howdy, Boosh. Fable no longer an Xbox exclusive. Hexbox. PS5 and PC release confirmed with male protagonist option. This is interesting because I genuinely had no idea that this was going to be possible, but apparently this is a male playable character. Looks like kind of a twat to me, but hey, I've never really played Fable. just a little bit here and there on a friend's Xbox, but 20 years ago, it was all right. It's a good game. The first one, anyway. Fable, one of gaming's most beloved RPG franchises, is officially launching on PS5 and PC in autumn 2026, marking a seismic change in platform strategy and narrative design for what had been perceived as an Xbox exclusive. Well, they don't do Xbox exclusives anymore, do they? They genuinely don't. They do, this is an Xbox, this is an Xbox, your mum's an Xbox. The announcement made on the official PlayStation blog confirms the game is a brand new chapter for the series, not a remake of the classics. Post was accompanied by a trailer that confirmed players will be able to control a male protagonist. They were very, very clear on that, apparently, because everybody knows everybody was pissed off at the hideously ugly thing that they call a woman running around in that game. That will still be the canon one, though, won't it? A feature fans previously believed was excluded. Well, maybe it was. And then 2024 happened, you know. The move instantly reshapes the perception of Fable's place in the modern console landscape. Initially developed for Microsoft platforms and widely assumed to be a permanent Xbox exclusive, well, nothing is anymore, is it? Fable's PS5 and PC release signals a pivot away from the kind of platform exclusivity that once defined console competition. For years, Microsoft leaned on first-party exclusives. Yes, they did, but they never had any that were really that great. Only Halo and Fable and Gears of War. I think that's it. That's all I can think of. Well, PlayStation, of course, had things like Little Big Planet, God of War, Last of Us, Uncharted. List goes on and on. Ratchet and Clank. All the others. Jak and Daxter. So many. Major franchises tied to Xbox hardware created a kind of cultural and commercial moat. Fable's arrival on PS5 and PC challenges that assumption and suggests that Microsoft may be rethinking exclusivity. Maybe, as a necessary anchor in a market. I mean, what do you mean, maybe? They blatantly are. They've been saying everything's an Xbox. Now they're saying a PS5 is an Xbox. Your PC's been an Xbox for 10 years. What are you about? Excuse me. Oh. Well, this isn't the first time a Microsoft-owned franchise has seen multi-platform life in recent years. Announcement of Halo coming. I mean, why are we still acting like we're surprised that Fable's going on PlayStation if Halo's going on PlayStation? Crazy. Fable's transition is still transition.
Alphabetti spaghetti!
Is still noteworthy. It's not just another game on another platform. It's a clear indication that platform boundaries in gaming are more porous than ever, and that the strength of a franchise may now outweigh its value as a restricted selling point. Well, this is clear to everyone. We all know this. Exclusivity is a dinosaur, and the meteor hit 10 years ago. Nobody has been happy about exclusive games for a long time, and with consoles being as fucking pointless as they are these days, everybody's going to PC. Everybody's going to PC. Only the real diehard, like, bury your head in the sand Luddites who refuse to get with the times are still actually doing any kind of console fanboyism. This is why Cassie has to deal with so many console gremlins, as she calls them, because they come out of the woodwork and attack. It's like, buddy, the war's over. You're like that Japanese soldier that still thought World War II was going on 40 years afterwards. Pack up and go home. The war's over, buddy. And especially with the Steam machine coming too. Anyway, don't hold your breath for a Kratos appearing on Xbox systems anytime soon, though. Who would? It's on PC. No one's got an Xbox. That's why they've decided to abandon this. Look at this creature. What a mess. You know, she reminds me of. I bet you can guess. Let's see. Where's the picture? Where's the one I want? There we go. Hold on. And there. That's who it reminds me of. That's who it reminds me of. Definitely that. Definitely. But there you go. Anyway, Derp Face, Butterface, whatever you want to call it. Early gameplay reveals for Fable leaned into a vision where the protagonist appeared fixed, specifically showcased as a female lead with a distinct and widely unpopular design. Wildly unpopular design. Fucking hell, I've had 3 beers and need 5 more. I'm on my first. That creative choice was met with substantial fan backlash, largely centered around concerns that player customization and choice had been removed entirely. You gotta love that Park Place. Telling it like it is. Many players expressed disappointment in Fable, a franchise historically rooted in player-driven moral decisions and freedom, might have abandoned character creation in favor of a more prescriptive and ideologically driven narrative. Well, yeah. I mean, that's basically all we've seen for the past 10 years. The recent platform announcement quietly dispels that belief by confirming that male protagonists will be playable, reintroducing a choice that core fans was worried was gone. This is more than a cosmetic concession. It speaks directly to Fable's identity as an RPG where player agency shapes not just combat, but personal expression within the world of Albion. Well, hopefully you can create the character too, so we don't have to play as Butterface if you want to play as a girl. But there you go. Why this matters. In 2026, for PlayStation fans, Fable on PS5 isn't just another RPG, it's a statement. Blah, 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 blah. We understand this. We don't need to go into it. What we do need to do is watch the actual footage. But before we do that, quickly, let's talk about Star Wars. Because this is really interesting. If you remember, if you're my age or older, you may remember that there was a cartoon series called Clone Wars in the early 2000s between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, where you could in fact, I've got it on DVD. It's on my shelf behind me. This version of Clone Wars, made by Genndy, Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff Girls, Tartakovsky. You like ideology in games when it's in game, yeah. Not when it's real life ideology bleeding into it, no, yeah. But this was really quite a great series. Oh man, I'm really sorry. Apparently I'm really tired. I didn't mean to keep yawning like this, but there we go. That's what happens when you stream in the middle of the night. Anyway, there's a better picture. You can sort of get a look at the kind of artwork. Very Tartakovsky. It looked really cool, really slick, very stylish. Samurai Jack as well, yes. And people really liked it. Now, it was only created in shorts. So there would be a 5-minute episode in between 2 other programs on Toonami or whatever it was back in the day. And this made up 2 seasons that were just 1 hour long when they were put together. So you had like a 1-hour movie of Clone Wars and then a second series of it that's much closer to the beginning of and leads directly into the sequence of events that are happening at the start of Revenge of the Sith. So capturing Palpatine and all that is in Clone Wars Part 2, the Tartakovsky one. So, yeah, before Filoni ever came along and created Ahsoka Tano, we had a different canon cartoon Clone Wars, which I think is better because less is more. But then, hey, that's me. I would have happily accepted more from Tartakovsky. But interestingly, it turns out that Filoni, who is now going to be the creative lead of fucking Lucasfilm, because Kathleen Kennedy can't actually just leave and let us have a nice thing. Nah, she's got to leave a patsy in her place. Toonami is a blast from the past. Yeah, it sure is, buddy. Don't think I'm wearing... No, I was wearing my Dragon Ball t-shirt yesterday. Today it's One Piece. There we go. Anyway, file it under the category of what could have been. We're doing a lot of that today, aren't we? According to the Wrap, acclaimed animator Gendy Tartakovsky, I don't know if it's Gendy or Gendy, but I think it's Gendy, turned down a leadership role at Lucasfilm presented by George Lucas himself. His decision paved the way for Dave Filoni to take creative control of the galaxy far, far away. Yeah, sucks. Fucking Dave, male feminist Filoni. It's not something you want. It's not something you want. It's kind of hard to believe, by the way, as well, that that this guy would be bending the knee to feminism anytime soon. Either. Seriously, I can't see it. But there we go. Anyway, yeah, so it turns out that he was offered the job first. Now fans are speculating how Star Wars would look if Tartakovsky had accepted the offer. Creative output of two men suggests that while Lucas saw potential in both, Tartakovsky would have led the iconic franchise down a very different path. Before catching Lucas's eye, Tartakovsky has made a name for himself at Cartoon Network as the visionary creator of Dexter's Laboratory and Samurai Jack. The latter, which premiered in 2001, was especially praised by critics for its elaborate action sequences and minimal dialogue. Samurai Jack was cool. I didn't get it when it first started, but after about a year, I went back to it and I was like, oh man, this is badass. In 2002, Lucas asked Tartakovsky to do a series of 3 to 5 minute animated shorts set between the events of Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. Micro-series was titled Star Wars Clone Wars, ran for 25 episodes and won the Emmy for Outstanding Animated Program twice, in 2004 and 2005. More importantly, Clone Wars was able to deepen the lore and expand the legacy of the franchise despite being in a different medium. Yeah, the prototype. With the growing success of Star Wars animation, Lucas reportedly wanted someone to fill a leadership role at Lucasfilm, similar to what John Lasseter was doing at Pixar. In 2005, he offered the position to Tartakovsky with the requirement that the animator would work only on Star Wars-related projects. It's unclear if Tartakovsky felt his work with Star Wars was complete and ready to move on to the next job, or if the exclusivity requirement was the deal breaker. Tartakovsky instead went on to make the critically acclaimed Primal, leaving Lucas to seek out someone else to handle creative duties at Lucasfilm Animation, which went and led him to Dave Filoni, who, of course, was the director and storyboard artist on Avatar: The Last Airbender. He found him to be a malleable protege. Yeah. Dave Filoni, malleable. 100%. Most malleable man in Hollywood. Fully committed to Star Wars. Together, they retconned some of Tartakovsky's contributions to the mythos, as Lucas felt Tartakovsky had made the Jedi too powerful. After Disney purchased Lucasfilm in 2014, the Clone Wars micro-series was completely decanonized. Gay! That sucks. Meanwhile, Filoni's presence was only increased, and he was able to make the leap from animation to live action. Now he's been selected to co-lead Lucasfilm along with Lin-Manuel Brennan, controversial choice within the Star Wars fandom. As a senior creative, he had a central role in producing 2 divisive Star Wars series for Disney+. Leslie Headland, showrunner on The Acolyte, described Filoni as a mentor. The Acolyte. Dave Filoni had a chance to stop it. And he fucking didn't. The goddamn Acolyte. At least Babylon 5 and Battlestar Galactica aren't being defiled yet. God damn. Can you imagine a woke Battlestar Galactica? Christ. The show was cancelled after a single season. Filoni wrote all 8 episodes of the live-action Ahsoka, which struggled to find an audience. Yeah. Girl bosses. We don't like them. Piss off. She's a fucking Mary Sue as well. Now it seems that Tartakovsky left Star Wars at what few realized was a pivotal moment. As for Filoni, it's possible he never would have worked at Lucasfilm if Tartakovsky hadn't stepped aside. While it's impossible to know if Tartakovsky would have followed Filoni's trajectory from animation to live action to leadership at Lucasfilm, had he remained, Star Wars would undoubtedly occupy a very different narrative space today. God. That's bleak, isn't it? Oh, well. Anyway, there you go. Now we move on. We'll get back to Fable then. We have this video that came out earlier on today talking about the gameplay at the Xbox showcase that we saw yesterday, or some people saw, I didn't. And we'll have a look.
Fable is playground.
Whoops. No, that's not going to work because I have not set my fucking sound settings correctly. Apologies.
Legendary Lionhead Studios.
Whoa.
The original creators of the franchise. And although our game is a new beginning, I think what we're making is really faithful to the spirit of the classic Lionhead trilogy that we all love.
What?
At the heart of our game is a simple, recurring question. What does it mean?
Who are those chicks in the back? Why are they there? What are they doing? Having one of their little Twitter meetings. You know? Sitting there. I'm just going to go get myself a chai latte, guys. This is a day in the life of a Twitter employee. Fucking talking like Pokemon. Anyway, whatever. Let's have a look.
To you, to be a hero. Our game is about choices and their consequences. It's packed with action, drama, British humour, moral dilemmas, and...
Oh, that's it, innit, Zalosi? Look, we have female employees, yeah. That's why they're there. That's why they're there. Because if you just have a man talking, people will be like, it's sexism. He's a man. He's mansplaining. You got to have two chicks in the background. They probably don't even work there. They're probably just models they hired for the day.
Fight a few chickens.
Yeah, just sit here and be out of focus, bitch. All right?
All of this combines in a fairy tale which could only be Fable.
In classic Fable fashion, you begin the game as a child. Growing up...
Why are they all talking like that? Like, in that sort of showbiz way? Like in the I'm presenting a TV show kind of way? Like, in Fable, you get to do things like you would in a video game. It's like, is this how you all actually talk to each other?
In the sleepy rural Fable fashion, you begin the game as a child. Growing up in the sleepy rural village of Briar Hill. It's here that in a moment of extreme danger, your heroic powers first emerge, and we discover that you are Albion's first hero in a generation. But not long afterwards, disaster strikes, and the people of your village, including your beloved grandma, are turned to stone.
Mon the Albion, let's go. Let's get some Amelias in here. Need some memberships.
Right. By a mysterious stranger. Suddenly alone in the world, you'll set off on an adventure which will change Albion forever.
Let's get them subs for the stone parents. All right. Your parents are hippies. They got stoned.
Venturing out into the world is a huge moment because this is Albion like you've never seen.
Presenter voice everywhere. Where are the nerds? Where's the guys like, well, you're going to have a great time in this game because we put these mechanics in, you know?
It before. Idyllic rolling hills, magical forests.
Hey, it looks pretty good.
Bustling villages, sleepy hamlets.
It's definitely got that kind of, that Fable vibe in it. James Kirk School of Acting, exactly, yeah. It's definitely got that Fable kind of rustic, like almost like the Shire kind of quality to it that I remember. The lampposts are very sort of whimsically shaped, you know, things like that. How do you reply to specific messages? You're at their name, buddy. You don't watch a lot of YouTube, I guess. But yeah, you know what I mean? It definitely looks like Fable as my very, very limited and mostly aesthetic knowledge of the franchise would lead me to believe anyway.
Oversized vegetable patches and stunning vistas. And because our Albion is truly open world for the first time.
Matt Funcool for $1 super chat. Thank you very much. Says literally nothing at all. Wow, what a chat. Just giving away $1 like a fucking boss. Appreciate you. Thank you.
You'll be able to explore this rich and detailed world seamlessly, with the freedom to go where you want from early in the game.
We can't wait to welcome you back to
it's a woman one. It's woke. No, I'm kidding. Of course. It's fine. She actually looks like a woman, not, you know, a pink-haired, side-shaved land whale in a rainbow t-shirt with stubble.
Albion's iconic capital city, Bowerstone. Home to Fairfax Castle, the Old Clock Tower, and the legendary Heroes Guild.
Right.
It's a huge city, full of contrasts. Rich and poor, nobles and commoners, royalty and criminals. You'll spend plenty of time here during the game as you discover the secrets of the Heroes Guild.
There's definitely that sort of hyper real quality that the buildings have. Like, it's almost like Tim Burton-esque, you know, everything's like slightly hyper styled. Like the walls are not straight. Everything looks kind of tumble down. You know what I mean? That I don't know what that style is called, but you know, it makes everything look just 10% cuter than reality. You know, this ain't an Elder Scrolls game, you know, because everything would be rigid. But there we go.
The Heroes Guild and its reclusive guildmaster, Humphrey the Golden.
God, that face is fucking haunting, isn't it?
In the north of Albion, you'll find mountains, craggy coastlines, spooky marshes, and the bleak, windswept city of Bloodstone. Here, you'll meet the leaders of two rival gangs, vying for power, and uncover the secrets of the sinister, but extremely well-organized.
This guy's got an earring in both ears. Sorry, it just irritates me when guys have both ears pierced.
Cult of Shadows. Our Albion is beautiful, handcrafted, and richly detailed.
So every clip is showing you the female, allegedly female character, the ugly bitch. But we know already that we're going to be able to play as a male. Okay. I'm not ruling out that I might play this, you know. I've never had a specific issue with the Fable series. I just never was. The closest I ever got to buying an Xbox was for Fable 1. But I didn't, because I didn't see the point, because it was just for one game. This is the same mentality. That's why I don't own a Switch 2 right now.
In Albion, heroes are special, different.
Oh, and the only exception to that is if it's a Zelda. Then I might have to make some tough decisions.
They're stronger than regular people. They're more skillful, more charismatic. More importantly, they're those rare humans who can harness and use magic in the world around them. They have the power to do what they want.
And so do you. In our game...
Why is he talking like that? And so do you. It's like over-pronouncing, kind of over-delivering every word.
We want you to play as the hero you want to be. And that starts with being able to choose how your hero character looks.
So, in Fable, you'll be able to pick from a range of different character heads.
Oh my god. There's a black one, guys! Way! It's woke! No, I'm kidding. Again, I genuinely don't care. If it's not obviously tinged with politics, then there's nothing wrong with any of it.
And customize your clothing, hair, skin tone, tattoos, and scars. So the hero you play represents you.
But as well as your appearance, you can be the hero you want to be through the way you play, through the skills and abilities you learn, and through the weapons you use.
You can always tell when someone's not used to being on camera very much because they always stand with their hands like this. You know, because they don't know what to do with their hands.
Just like the classic trilogy, heroes in our game fight with a combination of strength, skill, and will. Seamlessly blending melee and ranged weapons with magical abilities gives us style weaving.
Yeah, I think you could do that in the old game too. Kick the chickens.
Combat. Allowing you to show off your personal playstyle against single opponents and large groups of enemies alike. Melee is at the heart of our close quarters combat. You'll use light and heavy combos,
wow, that guy's not
often knocking
strong,
enemies off balance and
really
executing stylish finishers.
An axe for a weapon. Might not have lost that fight if he had picked a fucking sword for a weapon. He probably would have been easily able to overpower a woman.
Swap to your ranged weapon to bypass enemy guard and deal with troublesome flying enemies. And of course, you'll be able to unleash your powerful spells to both manipulate and devastate your opponents.
Huh.
We're excited to be bringing back some...
You know, this doesn't look bad. Maybe it's just me. I'm, dare I say, a little optimistic about this.
fan favorite adversaries for you to fight.
I'm not seeing anything yet that's pissing me off.
Hobbs are back. as are Balrings, Hollowfolk, and Trolls.
And we're adding brand new enemies too, like this fearsome cockatrice, a giant fire-breathing chicken. Each enemy family is different, with their own weaknesses to exploit and defense.
I always hated saying that word.
To overcome. But with all the unique tools in your combat toolbox, how you defeat your enemies is up to you.
This looks kind of good. It looks like it's been made with. We can always be wrong, guys, but compare this to when we saw Avowed as a trailer, right? Compare it to that. Yeah, it looks decent apart from that face. Exactly. If you don't have to play as that face, then my only real issue with it is kind of dispelled. I've heard like Hypno and Wizards sort of takes in our group. We have obviously a group chat for SNH. I think Hypno thought it was. I think he said it was kind of good. I think. And Wizard said it kind of, or somebody, I can't remember who it was. One of them said it looked generic. I'm not seeing generic. It looks to me like everything's full of character. But hey, that's just me. Gameplay looks kind of solid. I mean, I haven't seen anything that looks like it could easily bug. But
there's more to being a hero in Albion than fighting. So much more. When we talk to people about their favorite memories of the original games, so many of their stories were about the stuff you can do when you weren't just being a hero. The normal, everyday stuff which happened when you interacted with the people of Albion.
For me, what I remember...
When did, like, game designers start looking like they go to the gym all the time? Or that they're like an extra from the Backstreet Boys? What happened, man? Nerds used to look like nerds. But, you know, it doesn't look that bad. It really doesn't look that bad. The only question I have then really is, are they going to force us to get it on Xbox on PC, or are they going to release it on Steam? Because if you don't release a game on Steam, it's tantamount to it not even being on PC at this point.
Remember most vividly are the inhabitants of Albion and the things you can do with them or to them.
Yeah, exactly, Zalosi. I was thinking that myself. I was like, are these really the guys who are making the game, or are they just actors that they hired to deliver the lines? Because I just don't buy it. They're too comfortable talking to the camera. They're, you know, it's just strange, you know. When did devs get so unlikable? I think it was around about the time that they started calling us neckbeard, basement-dwelling man babies and things like that, you know. Instead of, you know, please buy my game. I hope you love it. Which, to be fair, most of these guys seem to be saying. So, haven't seen any massive scandals about it yet. You might do an Epic Games deal. That would be really, really stupid. Epic Games is fucking irrelevant. It's the thing you download Fortnite on. That's all it is. It's all it'll ever be. It doesn't have anywhere near the kind of mechanics that Steam has. Steam has forums. It has a community. And, of course, the constant sales. Steam is more than just a launcher by miles now. It's a fucking ecosystem. It's masterful. If you don't release on Steam, you are seriously clipping your own wings. There's no point. They probably don't let the devs out in public. Well, they seem to have like grass on the walls here, which is usually a sign of a very postmodern 21st century Google style working environment. Everything's tungsten bulbs. There's no fucking halogens. Not that I'm complaining about stuff like that. Co-working spaces look like that as well, and they're nice. They're nice places to work. I just sort of don't picture. I still don't picture this. You go like out of this shot and you turn left. And you walk through the door, and there's like 50 guys stacked in like fucking Filipinos on a jeepney, hunched over laptops, just chain smoking. That's what I expect to see, you know, especially when this thing's been in development for fucking years and years and years. Meanwhile, this guy's out here. There's like subtle jazz playing on the background. You know, all these guys are just here. They're not even working right now. They're just on their socials. That's their job. You know, they're all the community managers. I can't wait to see what one of them does to fuck this up.
The crazy thing about the classic Fable games was that in the middle of a sprawling RPG was almost a complete other game where you could just mess around with the villagers and townsfolk.
And we've built that same experience in the middle of our game too. Buying a house, getting a job, making some money.
I mean, the problem is that that's not impressive anymore. That's every game now. You know? Beanbags and air hockey, exactly. You miss Westwood. Westwood were the kings.
Romancing a villager, getting married, having kids.
Fancy a date?
Perfect. You can get to know me.
Fancy a date? I thought he was going to say fancy a shag. Fancy a shag?
Be better.
Epic.
Buying another house.
Why does she sound scout?
Perfect. You can get to know me better.
All right, Lister. Oh, Justin's here. Hey, buddy. Gotta go get some rest, Will. I will. I'll be resting after this video is finished. I'll react to this. I don't think, unless someone drops like 50 memberships right now, I don't think we're hitting the goal. So I'll be wrapping up. I will stay, though, longer if we hit the goal.
Buying another house. Buying every house in Albion. Buying every business in Albion. Getting rich.
Oh, yeah,
marrying a bunch more people. Having a bunch more kids.
You can be a
probably getting
polygamist.
divorced along the way for good measure.
And this game within a game is unique
Why is
to
he
Fable.
so happy about that? You're going to get divorced. You're probably going to get divorced across the way for, but maybe just because your life in Scotland is miserable. Okay.
Probably getting divorced along the way for good measure.
Along the way for good measure. Fucking hell.
And this game within a game is unique to Fable. It's systemic, interconnected, and you see the ripple effects of the things you do everywhere you go.
He's like the most believable one I can actually like listen to, and I feel like he actually has played the game.
And all of this revolves around the people who live in Albion, who we call the living population. There are more than 1,000.
This is a red round vegetable that we call a tomato. It's like the population of Albion that we call the living population. Well, I mean, as opposed to what? A dead population? What the fuck? It's not like you've invented some crazy new buzz term, buddy. You are just literally calling a spade a spade. It's fucking madness. This is a blend of hops and barley in a glass tube, which I call a bottle of beer. Fucking retarded.
Who we call the living population. There are more than 1,000 of them, and every single one is unique. Each of them has a name, a role, a daily routine, and their own personality. You could follow any one of them for a day and just watch them live their life.
But like a stalker. I suppose you can, yeah. Right.
They'll get up, go to work, spend some leisure time on hobbies, then go...
But do they do the same thing every day? That is the question. Are we talking Majora's Mask here or Skyrim?
Go home to bed.
But what's even cooler is that you can talk to every single one of them in fully voiced conversations and interact with them in loads of different ways. Maybe
again, that's been around for a while too. I mean, okay, maybe it's more in depth, like than say a Skyrim, where yes, you can have conversations with the vast majority of people. Well, maybe not the majority, but most people will be like, "Hail, traveler! Hail, fellow! Well met!" And then 1 out of 3 you'll be able to have like a choice conversation with. Are they saying you can do that with literally everyone in the game? Over 1,000 people? Because that's actually starting to sound a bit more impressive now. But I'm pretty sure you can already do that in lots of games. But well, whatever.
job they go to is working for you because you hired them to work in one of your businesses.
Hey, you. Working hard? How can I help you, boss?
Maybe the bed they sleep in is in a house you own because you're the landlord.
Or maybe their bed is on the street because you evicted them.
All right.
Wanker.
Oh, it's you. You're awful.
You're awful. It's not my fault, mate. Would you? I mean, do you want to come to some arrangement? You know, if it was a chick, you know, if the chick's hot enough, of course you're not going to get evicted. Of course not. There, haven't you seen movies? Certain types of movies.
And all of the stuff you do affects what they think of you.
You're a legend.
Because everything you do builds your reputation.
Did he really just say that? You're a legend. Do we have chavs in Albion now? Okay.
Very impressive. Now that's an hero right there.
Morality has always been super important to Fable. That tension between good and evil underpinned all of the original games. And morality is central to our game too. But we have a slight...
Oh, yes, you said, St. Hugo, one could in theory evict someone who does not meet a certain appearance. It does kind of look like that, doesn't it? Like, you could play the game as someone who is like pathologically averse to ugliness. It'd be kind of funny.
Different take on it.
Pick the chicken.
For us, morality isn't black and white. There are lots of grey areas. And importantly, morality is subjective.
Interesting.
No two people see things exactly the same way. And that's how it works in our game too.
Everything you do earns you a reputation. And every person in Albion will have a different reaction to you as a result.
Hello there.
Yeah, we get it. You're rich.
They'll remember things you did directly to them. They'll love you.
Wait, what does that say? Did that say what I think it said? Hang on. Let's go back a bit. Esther the Merchant, a humble commoner, dislikes you because your reputation's rich and tycoon. They think you're a rich twat. Have you noticed it's always the man when people don't like him? That's weird, isn't it? Oh, no, actually, I suppose that, no, it was the woman for the beggar man.
To them, they'll love you or hate you for the choices you make, and they will always tell you why. Although, usually from a safe distance.
Our game will never judge you, but the people of Albion will, loudly.
So the game will judge you, because they are part of the game. What are you talking about? That's such a wanky fucking thing to say. Everything about this is good, about the game is looking good, but the people who are talking about it are making me want to smack them in the head in Minecraft.
Imbecile.
Your reputation is created by the choices you make, and you are going to make a lot of them. Big choices.
Why does everybody say this stuff about their game? Like it's brand new. Like Fallout 3 was 15 years ago, buddy. No, it's more than that.
Little choices, moral choices, and some choices that will actually change the landscape of Albion for the rest of your game.
Well, yeah.
We call this idea, your choices change the world.
What are you... I mean, oh my God. What, did you trademark that? Did you? You fucking idiot. We call this system, your choices change the world. Yes, it's a video game. That's been the case forever. Fallout 3, Tenpenny Tower. You can decide if you want to blow up Megaton or save it. This is just a mechanic that's been around for fucking ever. What is going on? Who's watching this without having a clue that video games do this kind of thing? And then there's the actual terminology. This guy said, he's like, yes, you can make choices that will literally change Albion forever. We call this, your choices change the world. What were you going to call it? A rusty bucket? Fucking, what are you on about, buddy? Like, you're not inventing here. Yeah, okay, fine. I get it. You've got to put a positive spin on it. You know, all you got to do is say, yes, other games do this. We've decided we're going to do it in a bit more detailed fashion. We're going to do it in a way that makes you feel more intimately acquainted with the world in this way, in this way, in this way. You don't need to come up with these weird terms that are just you saying the same thing again. You know, like I said, this is a bottle. It has beer in it. I call it a bottle of beer. What do you want, a fucking Oscar? Jesus Christ. This is absurd. The game looks really good, and all these dicks are doing is making me not want to ever talk to any of them.
Let's give you an example.
Early in the game, you'll meet a character named Dave, an egotistical gardener in a rural village who
Whoa, it's Maurice Moss.
Early in the game, you'll meet a character named Dave, and
it's Maurice Moss. I'm going to murder you, you bloody woman. In Minecraft. That's from the IT crowd. It is. It's Maurice Moss. It fucking is. It looks just like Richard Ayoade. That's crazy. Shut up and take my money, but yeah, really shut up, yeah.
egotistical gardener in a rural village who discovers a magical growth formula. He accidentally turns himself into a giant and becomes a big...
Sorry, sometimes I get a bit of a hot ear.
Big problem. It'll be your job to deal with him, and ultimately it will be your choice whether to kill him or to...
0119988119991117253.
Spare him. If you kill him, his giant corpse will lie on the farmland just outside of town for...
You can kill him and he just lie there forever? Amazing. Okay, that's fucking cool. That's fucking cool. You should have started with that.
The rest of the game.
And that is going to affect house prices. It will also affect what a lot of...
So the house prices will go down, you say? And I can live in those houses next to the thing that I killed, a giant that I killed? That sounds fucking cool.
The villagers think about you.
Especially Dave's sister.
In Fable, the choices you make will define you. What does being a hero mean to you?
All right, you know, the game looks pretty good. I'm kind of keen on it, yeah. This might finally be the generation where I play a Fable. Fable? How's it to say Halo? Fable. Fucking idiot. But Jesus Christ, the marketing speak on that was unreal. Like, you've got to have the brain of a rice pudding to think that.
At Playground Games, we've built...
It really is Richard Ayoade. He does the voice. Oh, all right then.
It's a pedigree for beautiful, immersive, open-world experiences. Yes, they've typically involved sports cars, but this is a passion project for all of us here. Every member of this team, which we've built from scratch, has two key things in common.
So you built a new team for this game? What happened to your old team?
A deep love for the franchise and a burning desire to bring it back.
Well, yeah, but it has been like a decade.
We're making this for Fable fans just like us, but also to introduce Fable to gamers who've never played the series before. It's been great to finally tell you a little about the game we're making. There'll be much more to share as we get closer to our launch. I'm excited to tell you today that Fable is coming to Xbox, PC, and PlayStation in autumn 2026. From all of us here, thanks for watching.
Well, that certainly could have been a lot worse. Could have been a lot better. Again, I actually didn't have any issues with that game at all. I thought that looked really good. I'm glad you get to play as a man. I'm glad you're not relegated to playing as the ugly bitch, although they did put her on the box. I like the idea of the world. It actually does sound like they've gone a little bit above and beyond with the interaction between you and the NPCs, so that they feel a bit more real and a bit more alive, and that actually sounds cool. The world looks kind of cool, kind of whimsical, like if Tim Burton did The Shire kind of thing, which is very Fable. So I mean, yeah, it does seem like they're actually trying to keep it what it's supposed to be. Yeah. The only problem I had with that really was the wankers talking about it. You know, just a bunch of fucking wankers.
oh sexy. Mira, baby. Tu locas. Tu locas. Te amo. Tu feso.
Disco baby, sexy baby, hot. Anyone who has ever seen the Fast Show will recognize that. Excuse me. Stupid beer makes me burp. Anyway, there we go. That is it. That's the show. That's the show today, guys. I am fucking knackered. And there's a lot to do. I still need to continue working on my own game. Of course, I'm also thinking of trying to learn like some actual stuff to make a game, like Game Maker and stuff like that. I almost considered, yeah, sorry about burping there. I didn't mean to, the clip ended before I thought it would. But yeah, I do intend one day to kind of make a game. And I've been thinking about maybe streaming, learning, because, well, it would be a nice way for me to excuse myself to be able to do something like that I'm actually interested in, without, you know, also having to take time off work to do it, you know. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you interested in that? I also was thinking of maybe streaming in the afternoon tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. I can't promise anything yet, but I am supposed to have started streaming Alundra quite a while ago for my dad, and I haven't done it yet because it's been very busy. We'll see. I tend to put polls out when I want some feedback about this kind of stuff, so maybe I'll do that. Look for the community tab on the channel for all of that. In the meantime, hang on a second. Smegheads came in for $2 a little while ago. We get it. You made a game. They sound pretentious. Exactly. Pretentious. For some reason, that was the word that escaped me. Thank you very much. Appreciate you, man. Yeah. And of course, as is customary for Smegheads, when he drops me some super chats.
He's a smee. He's a smee. He's a smee. He's a smee. Hey.
Well, there we go. That's the show then, I believe. Did you guys like anything in particular about the Fable thing? I mean, I kind of liked it. I'm not going to lie to you. I think it looked kind of good. I didn't see anything woke in it. I mean, you could argue that there's like black folks walking around in a medieval setting, but it's not the real world. It's not meant to be the real world. It's not meant to be anything like the real world. A complete and total one. Exactly. And yes, shout out, he's a good Chris Waddle. Indeed. I genuinely think that it could be pretty good, this, you know. After all that we've said about it, and that horrible looking chick, I still don't understand why they made her fugly, but they did. At the end of the day, though, if I can play as a dude or a woman who's not fugly, not that I would. I'm not that guy who plays as a female character. I'm a male. I play as a male character. But yeah, you know, if you can have that say over character creation, and you can, then yeah, what else is there to worry about? The rest of the game looks pretty tight. Kind of interested. Yeah, that's a nice bit of optimism to end the show on, isn't it? Anyway, there we go. Yeah, let me know what you think about me streaming various things. I'll be in the Discord maybe later. But in the meantime, that is the end of the show for now, guys. I hope you've had a good time. I've had a good time. I want to say thank yous especially to Zelosi, also St. Hugo, Smegheads twice there, and my buddy Easygood from back home. Join in the Griff Force. Thank you very much, mate. Smash JT, Matt Funcool, and Smegheads once again. You guys are fucking legends. Unfortunately, yeah, we're only at like 38% of the way to the goal. So unless someone wants to drop a mega banger right now, probably not going to hit that. But, you know, I suppose you can't win them all. Can win sometimes, though. That would be nice. And of course, yeah, we'll continue. I was gonna go on and have a look at maybe Beast of Reincarnation, but I'll do that on another stream. For now, I will just say take care, spike your hair, fuck Nintendo, fuck Disney, fuck Ubisoft, fuck Microsoft, and kind of fuck Bethesda too, for that matter. Question everything, respect the fans, check out the Discord, the link is below. I may be streaming tomorrow. If not, we will see you on Sunday at 2 p.m. UK time for the Red Dwarf review of Back to Earth, which actually, no, then it will be 1 p.m. on Sunday UK time, because we have got to do 3 episodes instead of 1, and it might take a long time. Hello? James Up has just fuck my life. Okay, well, looks like I'm not going to bed then. Fucking hell! James OP for $70. Holy shit, buddy! What the fuck?
Oh, these? My boobies? My massive fucking titties? My super stuffed up milkies? My hunger bonger doinky boinkies? My fucking fabric stretching, wind flapping, gravity welling sex mounds? You mean these super duper ultra hyper goddamn motherfucking...
What the hell, man? That's amazing. Holy shit. Just says, don't forget we need to look at AI stuff. That's true. I have set some time aside for that tomorrow, so we'll see if maybe I'll just do that instead. That is very important because I'm getting a bit tired of Grok and ChatGPT. So yeah, we can do that. Absolutely. Why not? $70, you absolute fucking legend. That is just insane. That is the goal. Well hit. Well over the fucking goal. What do you want? Regular or Metal Gear? That is the question. Let me know. And fucking hell. Paul Ashworth has gifted 5 fucking Grift Force memberships. 5 for the princesses. 5 for the British Empire. What the shit?
Help me create the future of the white race.
Hey, shit, man. I was like, oh, well. I was just kind of joking about dropping a mega banger like that, but fucking hell, they went and did it anyway. This bloody legends. All right, well, then in that case, promise is a promise. Let's have a look at Beast of Reincarnation then. A new game from Game Freak. Unbelievable. I did not expect. Wow, guys, you guys, unbelievable. Before we do that, do you want regular or Metal Gear? Metal Gear. Metal Gear it is. Enjoy some boobies. Not safe for kids, guys. Hide your children.
Look on your skin, a caress like a blade. You follow us in through the traps we've laid. Eyes in the darkness, lips stained with sin. Once we pull you closer, you'll never leave again. We are fire inlaid, the poison you crave, the softest of chains will make you a slave. Come closer, commander, surrender the fight. beyond your hours.
Holy shit. Man, you guys, you blow me away. Fucking hell. Was not expecting that at all. Good lord. Oh, well, there we go. We got another fucking limit bar up. The heart piece fills up, and we're that much closer to playing Jackbox. Probably by the weekend, if this rate continues. We'll see. Good God. Legends. Amazing. And, Jesus Christ, thanks both of you. I was literally about to leave. But, okay, well, I'm here now. There's, of course, John, bricking himself. John is bricked, you may say. And James has asked me to share this. Apparently safe to play. Well, she's not got tits out, so yeah. Better than what I've been doing on Grok. I'm actually having trouble getting them to put their tits in their clothes on Grok at the moment. It's kind of crazy. Anyway.
Welcome to Will of the Fans. My name's Opal Phoenix. I'm a simulated life form based inside OPAI.
That's really cool, man. That's really cool. You are really making some moves now, aren't you? That's fucking great. Wow, look at that. One more time.
Welcome to Will of the Fans. My name's Opal Phoenix. I'm a simulated life form based inside OPAI.
It's getting crazy now, AI, isn't it? It's getting crazy. Absolutely insane. But there we go. There we go. James OP, you are doing God's work, my friend. What the hell? All right, guys. Let's react to this then and have a quick look. And that will be the last thing on the stream. So let's have a look. Hopefully we won't get a bunch of wanky Americans talking about like and apparently Brits as well, coming up with terms that are literally just exactly what it says on the tin and talking in that. Welcome to Will of the Fans. You are watching a live stream, which I call a live stream. You know, it's just why. Anyway, let's have a look. And, oh yeah, they're Japanese. Of course, it's Game Freak. So no, we won't get that. We'll just get the need for subtitles. Let's have a look. Weird, it's Game Freak. Pokemon guys are making another game. Whoa, you're going to do that to me as well, aren't you?
Minasan, こんにちは。ゲームフリークのゼネラルプロデューサー、大森茂です。
General Producer。こ
こは東京にあるゲームフリークのオフィスです。ビースト・オブ・リンカネーションはかつてない新しい体験を作り出すことに主眼を置いたゲームフリーク独自の取り組み、ギアプロジェクトから生まれた新しい挑戦です。これまでもポケットモンスターシリーズのほか、ソリティバ、ギガネッカーなどさまざまなオリジナルゲームタイトルを世に送り出し、常に新しいアイデアや世界観の構築に挑戦しています。
They're getting bored of Pokemon now, aren't they? Just like everybody else. Yeah, look, actual nerds, yeah. This is cool. What is this? How is this like the Pokemon? Okay.
Beast of Reincarnation はまさに
I suppose it's not any different than like God, what are they called? I can't think. The guys who made Horizon. Jesus Christ, why can't I think of their names? They spent like years making Killzone games and then they're like, actually, we want to make this instead. So it does happen. But I actually kind of like, whoa, this is, you know what's really interesting though? We're currently in the middle of a massive like wave of games set in Asian sort of like retro traditional Asian settings. We've had it with Ghost of Tsushima, obviously, then the abysmal Assassin's Creed Shadows, but there's loads of them at the moment with Wu Chang and all that stuff. I feel like I'm seeing conical hats everywhere I go. But whatever, anyway. Let's have a look. Fuck it.
新しい体験ができるゲームです。遠い未来、文明崩壊後の汚れに侵食された日本。そして一人と一匹のアクション RPG というゲームプレイで構築されています。
One person, one dog. Yes, the threequel to Two Girls, One Cup and One Man, One Glass. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
この美しくも過酷なビースト・オブ・リンカネーションの世界で皆さんにも臨場感あふれる冒険を味わっていただくことができればと心から願っています。
The music's interesting. It kind of reminds me of a Final Fantasy game, but or Square Enix game, but I can't remember which one. I want to know who's doing the
これま
sound.
ではポケットモンスターシリーズでバトルプランナーやサウンドマネージャーを務めてきました。ただ、新しいゲームに挑戦したいという強い衝動もずっとあったんです。
To try a new kind of game. That's Japanese work ethic for you. He hasn't played anything except Pokemon for 25 years. Of course, you've got to have a pet. It's a Game Freak game.
最初は黙々とそのゲームで得られる感覚を自分の心に問いかけることから始めていました。世界観もキャラクターもゲームデザインも決めずに、ただどんな感覚がいいんだろうと探っていました。そうしているうちに、ぬくもり、頼もしさ、そして寂しさが入り混じったような感覚が最もしっくりきたんです。自分の心に反応しました。隔離された主人公エマとこの世界を一緒に旅していく恋のある相棒、クーもその過程で生まれました。
福島からビースト・オブ・リンカネーションのコンセプトにとても興味を惹かれ、すぐに参加しようと心に決めました。長年ゲームフリークでは、
Don't you like work for the company? Don't you have like no choice?
ポケットモンスターシリーズ
They've made Pokemon for years and years and years, and now they're sick of it. They want to make something else. It's not really that hard to believe. I mean, Pokemon is so bland and generic now. It's so watered down, milquetoast. It's boring. I can't imagine being the devs of Pokemon and actually being satisfied with that anymore.
を通じて生き物やパートナーを描いてまいりました。しかし、
Imagine if they made a Pokemon game like this. I mean, I'm not saying that's what I want. I'm not saying that's what they should do. I mean, this is really interesting and it looks different. It plays really different. But you do have that pet in there, which is sowing the seeds in my mind. They're like, well, what if they made a Pokemon adventure like that, where you could have like one of your favorite Pokemon? You could even upload one from one of the other games that you like the most or whatever, and then go through an adventure story with it like this. That would be kind of cool.
今回のプロジェクトでは過酷な世界を相棒と共に旅をするという体験を目指しています。汚れと呼ばれる寄生植物が蔓延している世界がかつての
parasitic plants known as the blight. It's a little derivative, but hey, could be worse.
文明の廃棄を覆い尽くすほどまでに植物が生い茂った過酷な環境となっており、ダイナミックな移動が要求されます。このような経緯で血を吐き自由に操ることのできる鶴のような神を今の能力にすることになり、プロトタイプも
Isn't that an ability that Bayonetta has? I don't know.
出来上がってきました。そしてそれがエマという人物のバックグラウンドとキャラクターデザインを形作っていったんです。
Okay.
これまでゲームフリークは動植物や自然と真摯に向き合ってきました。形状を自由に変えられて武器のように鋭くなりつつも美しい。そんな中核となるモチーフとして、
Yeah, she's got that Senju chakra. She's able to use wood release.
植物を選びました。ただ単に美しい植物を風景で表現するだ
Giant animals, very Monster Hunter.
けではなく、遊びにも植物を取り入れました。しっくりとくるモチーフを見出し、ゲームデザインとモチーフを紐づけることは、ポケットモンスター
Mokuton. Wow, this is interesting. This is really cool, actually. Is that a picture of a rat with like plants growing out of it? That's dark, man. It's kind of interesting though.
シリーズの開発を通じて、
I don't know how to respond to things like this because I'm just taking it in. I'm just like, yeah, this looks cool. Like I'm just sort of letting it wash over me, like some new world. Yeah, some of it's been done before, but not in this particular combination. So yeah, why not? I mean, you could just sort of the way the Japanese approach one of these videos compared to the Americans is so much better as well. They show you their notes, they show you like screenshots of what they're working on, and not just a bunch of talking heads and gameplay shots, you know.
ってきた重要なステップです。
Concept art on the walls.
モチーフが決まった段階でコンセプトアーティストの幸田一馬さんご協力のもと、この世界のビジュアルを形作っていくことにしました。エマとクーの
Can't tell because we're not Japanese, but she's talking like, and we invented a world that we call the world.
姿を思い描いたとき、自然に支配される世界の舞台として日本がぴったりだと考えました。
What a fucking surprise. Japan thought Japan would be the perfect setting. For a world ruled by nature. Yeah, overgrowing technology, fair enough.
日本の昔から続く山々に囲まれた自然豊かな風景と SF が入り混じった世界をエマとクーが歩く姿を自然にイメージできました。さらに植物をモチーフとした重要な存在として植物と動物が融合した生物でもある腐食体も出来上がっていく。
Oh, dude, that's grim. Damn. Poor animal.
きました。
It's a bit Last of Us, isn't it? Plants growing out of animals. Oh well.
体のデザインは当時私が注目していたデジタルアーティストの森田裕樹さんにお願いすることにしました。
世界の舞台を作ると同時にエマとクーのもの
So what happens? The plants possess the animals, and then the animals can summon more plants.
物語を作り上げていきました。ストーリーの舞台
It is a bit kind of Stella Blady in a way.
は西暦4026年の日本です。遥か昔に発
Yes, The Last of Us was fungus, yeah, I know.
生した汚れという名の寄生植物の影響で人類の大半が消滅した後の世界です。エマは腐食体を狩り、その汚れを自分の体に封じ込めることができるという特別な能力を持っています。ただ、それがゆえにエマは恐れられ、人々が住むコロニーから隔離され暮らしています。エマと彼女の相棒となるクーは日本の東の地で出会います。そのクーの目的がこのゲームの謎の一つでもあります。
名前は何だ？クーだ。クーから目を離さない方がいい。
Name is Coo. All right.
封じ後エマ、お前に輪廻の獣討伐の命を。
都に迫る輪廻の獣を討伐するにはエマとクーの力を強化していく必要があります。そのためにこの世界に存在する強力な腐食体、主を討伐し、その力を取り込んでいくことになります。汚れを封じることができるエマにしかできない。
It's hard to believe a little twig like that made that much of a dent in that thing. But okay. So the power to see well, so she ends up being the chosen one.
別な役目です。腐食体はこの世界の F の対象であり、最も象徴的な存在です。汚れに寄生されて巨大化していった生物たちです。エマとクー。
Kind of like another twist. There's loads of things that have done this kind of thing before, like a post-apocalyptic world, like Horizon Zero Dawn. Obviously, the plants taking over the animals. Very, very Last of Us-ish. There's a lot of things that are quite derivative of it, but this particular combination is working for me.
が戦う強力な敵です。腐食体は汚れを吐き、その巨体で世界を蹂躙していきました。腐食体の中でもひときわ大きい主と呼ばれる存在は、植物を操り自身の支配地域に汚れの森を呼び出します。汚れの森に入ると周囲の環境がガラッと変わります。手強い腐食体が襲いかかり、プレイヤーの行く手を阻むのです。そしてこの世界にはゴーレムというもう一つの勢力があります。ゴーレムは過酷な世界を生き残るため、かつての人間が
transferred their souls into mechanical bodies in order to survive the harsh world. Okay.
機械の体に転送したす方です。2000年の間に凄まじい戦闘技術を
1000 years. Huh. Okay. Wow.
つけましたが、一方で魂は劣化してしまっていて暴走しています。
エマとクーは様々な人物と出会います。長い旅をサポートする。
Combat's pretty good, yeah. Yeah, it looks fluid. Looks very, very intuitive too. It's, I shouldn't be surprised. It's Game Freak. They're veterans, you know? They wouldn't show anything if they didn't have something good to show either. That's why you like Japan. There's just a different level of professionalism about the whole proceeding, the whole trailer, everything.
ブラッド、カグラであったり、あとはクナイというエマと同じように腐食体を連れた剣士とも巡り合います。
とどめはきちんとさせ。
エマとクーは同じく汚れの力を宿していて、互いにその力を影響させ合いながら戦います。例えば、エマが敵の動きを見極め、攻撃を受け流すと、クーに力が溜まり、開花技という強力な効果を持った技を発動できます。そして、
Yeah, pretty cool. I mean, I've seen that finisher move a few times now in this, so that's obviously a fixed thing that you can do. That's kind of cool. I don't know. Chat, what do you think?
開花技を
Besides Lilith, obviously, I can see what Lilith thinks.
放てば、さらに次のアクションの選択肢に幅が広がります。例えば、ある開花技を使うと、エマは彼岸花
One art, Emma could create a large spider lily to leap onto and perform a downward attack.
の大輪を咲かせ、その大輪に跳躍して、兜割りを行うことができます。また、別の開花技を使えば、敵を縛り、エマの強力な闘技を敵に叩き込むことができます。開花技の選択中は、時間がスローになり、考える時間が生まれます。ターンベースの RPG コマンドのように考えることになります。スキルを磨くほどに、エマとクーの連携は研ぎ澄まされていきます。互いに補い合う
I'm not annoyed. I'm just making a joke, you know?
関係で、二人は常に繋がっているんです。エマとクーには、それぞれ
Skill trees. Lucky shot, enhanced crossbow, clicking glass, health spell. Alright.
スキルツリーがあり、エマが行動すればクーに影響を与え、クーが行動すればエマに影響が与えられるようにしました。また、エマとクーの親密度が上昇するにつれて、装備できるスキルも多くなります。様々なスキルを組み合わせることで、独自のプレイスタイルを作っていくことができるんです。さらに、エマとクーを結びつける霊秘石は、エマが受け流しを行った際に発動する刀の効果を重ねていくことなどで、より奥深い戦闘ができるようになっています。遠距離だけで戦う人もいれば、ステルスだけで戦う人もいますし、常にエマで戦闘を仕掛ける人もいれば、クーを先行させて戦わせる人もいます。
Send Koo in first to fight, or yeah. Okay, so you can send the dog in first, or you can send... What is this? The HP bar, the dog's HP, and then someone else. Grilled meat. I assume that's not the name. And you've got XP. So it's an action RPG, yeah. That's cool.
エマとクーでどのような装備で、どのよう
normally go for action RPGs, but most of the time that's because they are all style and no substance. This looks like it's got some guts, you know?
な霊奇跡と組み合わせて戦うのか、プレイヤーの皆さん次第です。皆さんがどんな意外な組み合わせを
The world's growing on me too. The first thing I thought when I saw the forest was this doesn't look all that good, but then I didn't realize that it was alive and reacting to the player at the time, so that's actually kind of impressive. It does look pretty nice.
生み出すのか、今からとても楽しみです。
Well, it's a little washed out, but that might just be because they're still developing it.
遥か昔に汚れに追い尽くされた美しくも過酷な新たな世界、企画構想から6年間、私たちはこの世界に数えきれない秘密や奥深い魅力を散りばめることに全力を注いできました。
Kind of in, you know? This looks cool. The only question is it on anything? Well, I mean, it'll probably be on everything because Xbox don't care about its exclusivity anymore.
すべてのプレイヤーの皆さんにビースト・オブ・リンカネーションの世界を体験していただける日が待ちきれません。本作は今年の夏、Xbox、PC、そして
Yeah, I did notice that, Lilith, as well. The character, Emma. She's actually pretty, yeah. She actually looks like a pretty girl, yeah. Hello, Japan. You haven't forgotten.
全力を注いできました。すべてのプレイヤーの皆さんにビースト・オブ・リンカネーションの世界
Yeah, well, when do we get it? When do we get it?
を体験していただける日が待ちきれません。本作は今年の夏。
This summer on Xbox, PC, and PlayStation. Yeah! All right. Cool. All right. Well, look at that, lads. Looks like we got ourselves a year.
Xbox, PC、そして PlayStation でリリースされます。さらに、ビースト・オブ・リンカネーションは発売初日から Xbox ゲームパスでプレイ可能です。ぜひ、ウィッシュリストにご登録ください。ゲームフリークが挑む渾身の新作、どうぞご期待ください。
To be fair, they have mostly only shown combat, but that's fine. The combat is going to be very important and crucial to the game, so yeah. Pretty face. I just realized, you know, this is like another game with a woman and a wolf. Just like Ghost of Yote. Except people are going to play this one. Yeah. Steam Summer 2026. Well, fucking hell, look at that. If I haven't seen 2 games that actually impressed me today. My God. Times they are a-changing. Fucking hell. What a time to be alive. Look at that. And let's go to the store. I can't share it, unfortunately, because it's just a Steam window. Beast of Reincarnation. Why not? Let's add that to the wish list. There we go. And I suppose, just for good measure, let's have a look and see if Fable appears on Steam. It does! Well, hey! There we go. We'll add that to the wish list too then. Fuck it. All right. Look at that. That looks cool. That looks pretty damn good. Beast of Reincarnation. I was kind of skeptical when I saw Game Freak's logo because, you know, whenever you see that, whatever it is, logo they've got, the next thing I expect to hear is da 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 da, you know. But wow, fuck me, look at that. What the hell? That's crazy. I really did not expect to be impressed today. What a pleasant surprise. What a pleasant bloody surprise. Well, there you go. That was about the last thing I had, but I've still got a couple of minutes left. Let me see if I can get this freaking thing to load. And if I can... Oh. Grok is experiencing server-related issues. We are working on restoring the service as quickly as possible. Well, that's no use to me, mate. That's no use to me at all. I can't... It won't load my bloody clips. Oh, fuck. Oh, well, there we go. Anyway, in case you guys missed it, the Street Fighter AI Booba video is... well, it's partially edited. Not very much. Still generating clips for a lot of it, but I will show you again because you guys were great enough to fill this bar up. So I'll play a bit of the song and share my Grok window so you can have a look at the ladies. There are some new clips you won't have seen yet. So here we go. Hold on. Here is the clips and the song.
Hey there, stranger, locked eyes across the ring. I'm the one who breaks
This is what I'm working
and still makes hearts sing.
the next reward video. Added Yaka or Chun-Li. Close up. Still got to do these two. Obviously, I'm really looking forward to Crimson Viper. It looks like that already. Let's see what I can do with Jury.
Come closer, baby, feel the heat I bring. Gonna pin your wrist, make you hold
Law has turned out really good as well. I was having trouble with Chun-Li, and then out of nowhere, I nailed it. Love it. Kind of helpful to watch this actually with music playing. It gives me ideas. Chun-Li's boobs look like they're about to pop out of that. At least the nipples are nowhere near. That's good. I can't go in and show you any more quick though because it constantly generates it constantly generates clips where they put blue pop out. So getting them to expose enough without actually showing any nipple is pretty hard. There we go. There you go. There you go. That's your preview. I'm going to be working on that tomorrow, probably. It's fucking late now. I'm hungry and I'm tired and I need to go to bed. You guys have been freaking legends. Yes, Chun-Li is really taking advantage of Jizzle. Oh my god, Freudian slip, Will. My god, no. He's a Kuma. He's a Guna. Oh. No. Anyway, yeah. They the bouncing is something that I've got better at. Fuck me. What am I doing with my life? Anyway, whatever. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. I really appreciate you sticking around, and I really appreciate you guys filling up the bar. It genuinely is my income at this point, and well, thanks for helping me feed my kids. So appreciate that. It's you know, something I love is doing what I do here and engaging with all of you guys as well. It's amazing. I get so much satisfaction out of it. You have no idea. But just being creative too, even if what I'm creating is just pervy shit, whatever. It's fun. Problem solving and creation. Things I love doing. Anyway, yeah, I may stream tomorrow during the daytime, my time, but I'm not sure if I will because that'd be ridiculously late American time. And I'd still have so many side projects to get on with. So I might, plus, especially since we hit the goal today, I might just work on these videos and make the next stream on Sunday all the better. But I'll let you know. In the meantime, once again, thank yous are in order to Zelosi, Smegheads, Ease Good, that's my buddy. And by the way, it took me years to realize what those lyrics actually meant. Ease Good. Rave. Anyway, Smash JT as well. Matt Funcool, Smakeheads, James OP for the $70 banger. Good God, I feel like I got to reward it again. Here we go.
I got this new anime plot. Basically, there's this high school girl, except she's got huge boobs. I mean, some serious hunkers. A real setup of donkers. Packing some Doban hunkeros. Massive da hunka bankaloos. Big old Tanahangera cougars. What happens next? Transfer student shows up one day with even bigger Bankhanaga hooks. Humongous hungalamga no logangas.
I love that clip. And of course, Paul Ashworth as well. You guys, thank you so much, Zelosi and these are good, of course, as well, for your contributions to the GRIFT Force. Much appreciated. Do appreciate it. Hope you have enjoyed this edition of HyperDrive Time. We will be continuing on. What, the Shaman song? Yeah, it's the 90s fucking Exodus song, isn't it? A's are good, Ebenezer good. But the real lyric is just about taking ecstasy. And it actually took me like fucking years to realize that. It's quite embarrassing, actually. But there you go. It's been a good stream. All that's left is for me once again to say take care, spike your hair, fuck Nintendo, fuck Disney, fuck Microsoft, fuck Bethesda, fuck the BBC, fuck them all. And yeah, optimism today, a little bit, even though I did just say fuck everybody. Yeah, question everything, respect the fans, check out the Discord, the link is below. I will update the credits tomorrow if I can as well, so you won't have to keep watching the intro to WTF Live as the outro. Fucking video too, yeah, okay, why not? Sure. In the meantime then, have a pleasant rest of your day. I will catch you If not tomorrow, then on Sunday for Red Dwarf. And till then, tatty bye. Thanks again.
If you got 'em, pull up a Wiimote. Let's freak it!